All right, so no Gigante Hammer was. Well, see, that's your own fault. You didn't put any health pots on. What are you doing?
No, because I was like, I can handle this because I've literally handled every single other tempered monster, and I was like, Nurg is the easiest. But tempered Nurg, not
Apparently not.
hard. No, no, but the thing is, he's
Who's
not
tempering the
hard.
nerds?
Nerd Gigante. Nerd.
Yeah,
Not nerd. Nerg.
You're tempering nerds. That's all I'm hearing.
yes.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the Pink Panty Pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
Where are these guys coming from?
He's fighting someone, so he's not paying attention.
I'm half paying attention, but every time I kill a Cabal, like I kill the Cabal, I hide behind a counter, I come back out, there's another fresh health Cabal. I'm like, what? Is this a vending machine I don't see? Where the hell are they coming from?
Are you familiar with the term invasion? See, they've invaded, so they brought an army with them. So it's not just like 4 guys. Yeah. Now, those 4 guys saw what happened to the last 4 guys that went out there, and are like, I don't want to go out there.
No, but they are going out there. That's the thing. They just keep popping out.
Well, yeah, they're getting shoved out the door. They're like, no, you go out there. You were hired to go be bait. Now go be bait.
The private being thrown over the fence or thrown onto the grenade kind of situation.
Yeah, it's important to feed the Guardians. They're very hungry.
This is true.
This is very true.
So Mr. Nitedemon this week has no voice apparently, so he will not be joining us as he has no voice. So it's now 2 shows in a row we've recorded without a Nitedemon.
Without a demon, but we do have a Titan.
They've been exercised,
and this was not intentional. We did not bring this Titan in on purpose. He was just kind of here.
No, I just roam around across the street. Yeah, just like, oh, what's that?
We see him roaming.
Where there's a respawn, there's a Patchy Helicopter Kitten. That's just kind of how it works.
How did you get that name anyway, Micah?
I just want to know how I can get it back.
There's still your name in there.
Yeah. It's just what I think Peroty named me. Like after that conversation when we had the girl on the stream or whatever, and I don't remember. Was it whose wife? Whose wife was it? It was somebody's wife.
Was it his wife?
Was it pee-pee pipe you're talking about when she was on?
Who it was? I think so, because she was reading off stuff, and then we were just being silly the entire time.
It definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't my wife, and it definitely well, if it was Deacon, you'd know it was Deacon. And I'm guessing it wasn't
somebody's wife, but it wasn't any of you guys. All right, cool.
No, she's not married, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware. Not concerned, aware.
Why are you so concerned?
Freudian slip.
Well, I mean, not very far apparently. So you're on your own.
It's not your pee pipe, sir. But yeah, so that's how it came about, and it's it's trying to stick. And I'm like, okay, I have other different names I could use.
But like I always identify as an Apache helicopter. But how did you get the Apache helicopter? I get the kitten thing. I'm on board with that. But how did you get Apache helicopter?
We were getting really random, so I said Apache Helicopter Kitten, like just to make it even.
Oh,
more
you
random.
said that. Okay,
I believe so. I don't know. We have to go back on the stream and see, but that's where it came from.
You have to go back to the tape and go. I just heard Patchy Helicopter Kitten, so it should be Apache Helicopter Kitten. Is that what I'm hearing?
He said he's like while he was typing it out. So Apache Helicopter. Do you spell that with 2 T's? Okay. All right.
There we go. Much better.
So I sent Respawn a series of clips of just nutty Titan stuff in PvP, including a couple of annoying, stupid Titan things in PvP that I've experienced, including the one shot from full health trip mine grenades.
I wonder how to do that. I set them on fire. They get down to 1 health.
In the clip, I wonder if I can send it to Peroty, because it's ooh, it's annoying.
What noise?
We have many Discord channels. There are plenty of ways to send them. Yeah, your respawn was moaning about trip mine grenades last week before. I don't know. It all runs together in my brain.
The Iron Banner week. Yeah.
Let me see if this will work.
So before we get too far into this particular train wreck, this is where I should stop and say, my name is Peroty.
Hi, Peroty.
The man over there from Florida. That's Respawn. You may have heard him before. He's been here a time or two. And then we've taken the British man and we've replaced him with another man with very smooth vocals, but less British. Mr. Patchy Helicopter Kitten himself. Micah is back again to give us all of his PvP hot takes, and which is good because there's Trials Labs updates, information in the TWAB, which I know Respawn hasn't read or has an opinion about. So it's good that we have someone who actually plays PvP willingly who can, talk about it somewhat. So that's who we are. We're here this week. And I also want to say thank you to Potato Thumbs Podcast this week for having us on the show. Indeed. They invited us as a trio. Unfortunately, time zones are a thing. So Deacon did not approve the 3 a.m. recording time. It would have been for Nitedemon to join us. But Respawn and I are on episode 299, the AARP PvP featuring Two Titans and a Hunter podcast. So that was good fun.
I forgot about that. That was funny as hell. AARP PvP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's us. So I appreciate Fluffy Fingers and Admiral Nips. The Admiral
Nips as in nipping, like biting, not the other one that you're thinking of. Yeah. Yep.
Or is it?
It's not. We verified. It's not.
No.
Yeah, but that was good fun. So so I'm talking. I was like, we've now recorded 2 shows this week, both without Nitedemon. It's not a plan. I promise you. Or is it a plan?
I mean, if we're pushing them out, I mean, as long as we got smooth vocals, I think that's all that really matters, right?
Let's be honest. If we were pushing him out, there would be no show because none of us can edit. It would just be like, here it is. Here's 6 hours of
show, not the
6 hours of something.
He could absolutely edit without being in the show. In fact, I encourage him to edit without being in the show.
I don't think that would definitely not gain Deacon approval. That would be so far. That would be the other direction if that's possible. We go the other way from approval. Yeah, but that's who we are. That's what this week is, and I think this is where Nitedemon will drop in the what's happening next week in Destiny.
Hello and welcome to the 8th week of Season 20, Season of Defiance, starting on April 18th, 2023. So for week 8, let's have a look at our legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Pet Revenge can be found in the Strand, and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blindwell features Scorn enemies and the Plagues, Sicarus and Veracruz. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Forfeit Shrine, which can be located over in the Guardians of Hasilia on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian is located in Archer's Line. The Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. And the Nightmare hunts this week will be Fogoth Fear, Ghoul, Rage, and Taniks Isolation. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Critics the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Ruins will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Survival. For the 30th anniversary expansion, we have the loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on week 4's rotation with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Stasis Precision Frame Shotgun Fractathis, the Solar High Impact Frame Auto Rifle Krajua Milo, the Stasis Precision Frame Hand Cannon Volpicula, the Arc Precision Frame Bow Wolftone Draw, the Solar High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle Iotona Draconis, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Heavy Grenade Launcher Canis Major, the Arc Vice Rapid Fire Frame Scout Rifle Contingency Plan, the Kinetic High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle Legal Action 2, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Heavy Grenade Launcher Outrageous Fortune, the Void Adaptive Frame Sword Steel Syllabus C14, and the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Sidearm Spoiler Alert. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Arrival, where the modifiers are Scorched Earth and Fire Pit, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also this week you will have Altars of Reflection Insight and Altars of Reflection Catalyst. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is Breakneck, with extra shields, locked loadouts, and extra champions. Barrier, Overload, and Unstoppable champions, Void Threat, Pestilence, Kinetic Overcharge, Strand and Solar Surges, with overcharged rocket launchers. The Partition mission will be Backdoor, with Barrier and Overload champions, Void Threat, Void and Solar Shields, with Void and Strand Surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Zephyr's Concourse. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon exotic mission on the EDZ. Raids and Dungeons. The new Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Nezareth, called All Hands. And as this is a new raid challenge, details on how to complete this challenge will become available once it has been completed. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Totems, called The Grass is Always Greener. Players cannot take the same brand type twice in a row. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Acquisition, called Swift Destruction, where Guardians must kill all champions within a few seconds of each other on all rounds. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, Oracles, called The Only Oracle for You. Players cannot destroy the same Oracle more than once. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Tanix Part 1, called Of All Trades. Guardians must perform each role at least once, Operator, Scanner, and Suppressor. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Kali, called Summoning Ritual. Players must activate and cleanse all 9 plates, then kill all 9 knights and ogres before damaging Kali. Your pinnacle raid will be the Garden of Salvation on the Moon, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the 1st encounter, Embrace, called To the Top. This is where you must not kill the Cyclops that spawns near the Consecrated Mind. The 2nd encounter, Spy Defense, called A Link to the Chain. This is where all Guardians must receive the Enlighten buff at the same time. The 3rd encounter, Consecrated Mind, called Staying Alive, where you must not kill the spawning Cyclopses in the first 2 rooms. And the 4th encounter, Sanctified Mind, called 0 to 100, where you must fully fill each conflict with 30 motes within 10 seconds of initially banking the first set of motes. Also, with the Garden of Salvation being the featured raid, this does mean that you might be able to find a team to guide you through the final part of the Divine Fragment quest and raid puzzles to collect the exotic trace rifle, Divinity. And the pinnacle dungeon for this week will be the Duality over on the Derelict Leviathan on the Moon. Next up, challenges. So for week 8 we have Size Defying. Defeat 25 champions or bosses in Defiant Battlegrounds playlist. Bonus progress awarded for those defeated on Legend difficulty for Challenge XP+. Relentless Liberator. Gain bonus rewards using Defiant keys at the end of Defiant Battlegrounds playlist activities on both normal and Legend difficulty. Defiant keys can be earned by completing Lightfall Complaint missions, Terminal Overload in Neomuna, raids, Vanguard Op playlist activities, Gambit matches, and Crucible matches for Challenge XP++. Trial by Firing Squad. Win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris for Challenge XP+++, Bright Dust, and a Trials weapon. Defiant Gambit Ornament. Acquire the Gambit Ornament for the Ecliptic Distaff for Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Defiant Calibration. Calibrate swords, bows, and glaives. Bonus progress for defeating Guardians for Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. And one classified challenge, so keep it secret, keep it safe. And speaking of Bright Dust, we have our 8th ever verse of the season for the week of April 18th, 2023. Available this week for Bright Dust, we have the Quick Cardio Legendary Emote for 700 Bright Dust, the Lucid Dream Exotic Sparrow for 2500 Bright Dust, the Lattice Entrance Legendary Transmit Effect for 450 Bright Dust, the Time Honoured Legendary Shader for 300 Bright Dust, the Grayscale Undergrowth Legendary Shader for 300 Bright Dust, the Touch Grass Exotic Emote for 3250 Bright Dust, the Limitless Subversion Vest Ornament for the Hunters, the Cognate Beat Plate Ornament for the Titans, and the Technologic Robes Ornament for the Warlocks, each for 1200 Bright Dust, the Sweeper Shell Exotic Ghost Shell for 2850 Bright Dust, the Sweeper Simulant Exotic Sparrow for 2500 Bright Dust, the Gilded Prowler Exotic Ship for 2000 Bright Dust, The Whaler's Whim exotic weapon ornament for the exotic bow Wishender for 1250 bright dust. And finally, the side-eye protection legendary ghost protection for 1500 bright dust. As a reminder, your daily lost sector will show you a flag outside, which will give you details of threats, shields, champions, and exotic armor you will find inside. But if you're new to the game or you're using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the lost sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you will only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. Tuesday, April 18th will be the quarry on the EDZ for exotic helmets, Void Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void and Solar Elemental Shields, Overcharged Grenade Launcher with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Wednesday, April 19th will be the Aphelios Rest on the Dreamy City for exotic boots, Stasis Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void Elemental Shields, Overcharged Shotgun with Unstoppable and Overload Champions. Thursday, April 20th will be the Chamber of Starlight on the Dreamy City for exotic gauntlets, Solar Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void and Solar Elemental Shields, Overcharged Swords with Unstoppable and Overload Champions. Friday, April 21st will be the Perdition on Europa for exotic chests, Arc Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void and Arc Elemental Shields, Overcharged Fusion Rifle with Barrier and Overload Champions. Saturday, April 22nd will be Bunker E15 and Europa for exotic helmets, Void Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void Elemental Shields, Overcharged Grenade Launcher with Barrier and Overload Champions. Sunday, April 23rd will be the Confluxes on Nessus for exotic boots, Solar Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void Elemental Shields, Overcharged Trace Rifles with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. And finally, back round to Monday, April 24th will be the Thrilladrome on Neptune for exotic gauntlets, Void Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void and Arc Elemental Shields, Overcharged Grenade Launcher with Barrier and Overload Champions.
Lead the way.
And Grandmaster Nightfalls have returned, which means if you already have your Conquest Seal, you will be able to select whichever Grandmaster Nightfall you want in any order to gild your title. And with that, our 8th featured Nightfall will see us face off against the Darkblade Kelroth in the Heist Battlegrounds Mars, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle Engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall is free to play. You will be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. Legend and low Nightfalls will have 5 barrier and 6 unstoppable champions, with 40% solar, 40% arc, and 20% void. Masters and GMs will have 8 barrier and 9 unstoppable, with 40% solar, 40% arc, and 20% void shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are hero difficulty, maximum effective level 1765, matchmaking is available, enemies have extra shields, champions foe, you will face barrier and unstoppable champions, you can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff, or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Solar elemental threat, 25% increase to solar incoming damage, empath, enhanced radar, take increased damage from melee, overcharge weapons, weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Void Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing void damage. Strand Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing strand damage. Overcharged weapon, 25% bonus damage with machine guns. Galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you will be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. Chafe, radar is disabled. And Grandmaster difficulties, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Join in progress is disabled. Extinguished, if your fire team falls in a restricted zone, your team is returned to orbit. Limited revives, gain additional revives by defeating champions up to a maximum of 20. Contest mode, which caps your power level to make enemies more of a challenge. And Fire Pit, when defeated, acolytes spawn fireballs that cause damage over time. To combat champions this season, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods, which are Anti-Barrier Pulse, and anti-barrier sidearm, unstoppable scout rifle, and a medieval champion, where glaives fire projectiles that stun unstoppable champions, swords stun overload champions on consecutive hits. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For anti-barrier, the kinetic bow Wishender, the kinetic linear fusion rifle Arbalest, the new kinetic pulse rifle Revision 0, the solar energy hand cannon Eriana's Vow, the solar heavy sword The Lament, and the Titan exotic gauntlet Second Chance, which gain a second charge of your shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. For unstoppable, the kinetic fusion rifle Bastion, the kinetic hand cannon Malfeasance, the solar energy sidearm Devil's Ruin, the void heavy bow Leviathan's Breath, and the hunter gauntlets Athris's Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. The Nightfall featured weapon to obtain this week and final time to acquire it before it's taken out of the Nightfall loot rotation will be the solo aggressive frame shotgun Mindbender's Ambition. The Mindbender's Ambition has a base impact of 80, base range of 29 and stability of 29. It can roll with auto-loading holster, moving target and quick draw, with pulse monitor, snapshot sights and slide shot. It has the origin trait of stunning recovery, where if you stun a champion it partially refills the magazine, triggers health regen and improves your recovery for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of health. Next up, Lord Shaxx brings Momentum Control to the featured Crucible playlist for the 8th week of the season. Momentum Control is a 6v6 PvP mode which is a variation on the regular control mode, where every weapon is significantly higher in lethality, meaning that you can take out your opponents much faster than normal. Respawns are instant, and defeating enemy players in Momentum Control will grant faster regeneration on your melee, grenade and super. Players get increased damage resistance when they activate a super, to help counteract that little bit of extra damage that the guns give out. The mode also has increased capture speeds on points, and radar is removed for every player. Achieve victory by capturing zones and defeating opponents.
Delightful!
Making its way into the Crucible labs this week should be Countdown Rush. Countdown is a reprise of the classic Destiny 2 elimination mode originally featured in the Trials of the Nine. In Countdown, two teams go head to head in a single life battle for control of two Cabal charges. The Cabal charges on the map serve as a focal point to force combat and exist as a team-based solution to the stalemate gameplay that exists in standard elimination. Once a charge is armed via interaction, it begins ticking down its fuse, and defenders have 35 seconds to defuse the charge before it detonates. Attackers arm one of two sites and defend the charge until it detonates. Defenders defend both charges from being armed, defuse any active charges, and hold off attacks to win rounds. Countdown Rush is a twist on the standard Countdown experience, featuring multiple Cabal charges per round. Players can respawn after 7 seconds and can be resurrected immediately by another player. When a charge exits play via detonation or defusal, the other unarmed charge reactivates and is available to be armed. Once both charges are out of play, the round ends and the sides swap. Players earn points via detonation, defusal and defense. In a defensive win, the defending team is awarded points per site defended, meaning if both charges were up, they would get 2 points versus 1 if only one charge were armed. The first to win 4 rounds wins. Also, by participating in Crucible Labs, you are rewarded with increased Crucible XP.
That is amazing.
And dependable as always, Saintful Team will be back on Friday at Reset to bring you another weekend of fun in the Trials of Osiris. As a reminder, Trials of Osiris is a 3v3 PvP high stakes variant of elimination. Only available from Friday Reset until Tuesday Weekly Reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought after weapons and armour. Players that compete in Trials of Osiris will have all of their games tracked to a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saintful Team in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in Trials will grant exclusive weapons, armour, pinnacle gear, masterwork materials, and even adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5 round wins will bag you that match for your passage card. By competing in Trials, you do have a chance to pick up 2 pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50 round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset. But before you go, we just want to remind you that this will be the last week to farm the Nightfalls and Grandmasters to obtain your Mindbender's Ambition shotgun before it's taken out of the rotation. And that there will be double XP in the Crucible this week. So if you want to fast track in getting that new ritual weapon, the Ecliptic Distaff Glaive, and a Crucible ornament, the Vermeil Spindle, then this will be a good week to boost those ranks. And that's it for the 8th week of Season of Defiance. Now, back to the show.
Guardian down.
If you've been farming for your hung jury this week, what are you going to farm for next week? And
Oh,
what lovely
speaking
emote
of
you're
which,
going to dance?
no. You brought that up. Listen.
I
I've
sure did.
complained so many times about Micah's ridiculous freaking luck, right? So I've been trying to clear that dumb. I've been trying to clear that that Nightfall, that Grandmaster Nightfall, for days, right? And Micah was with me for at least one of those days, right? And the one time we cleared it,
You haven't cleared it since?
Not only do I get 2 rolls that both penalize you for aiming in with a scout rifle, by the way, but he gets the God roll the first try. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
God roll. The God roll is actually the shoot.
You gotta be kidding me.
According
Took
to
me
people.
3 days farming this thing. Micah comes in, hangs out, and is all like, "Hey guys, look what I got." I'm like, "You got no."
So you've got what was it, kinetic tremors and
you got rapid hit with kinetic tremors and a ranged masterwork.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was nice. I like it.
Yeah,
Did he say it was on my first run? Yeah.
No, not the first run, but the first drop.
First run completion.
The first
no,
completion.
actually, it was the
he gets
second
God
drop.
Roll.
It was the second drop because the first one they gave me was in my inventory. I had to go to the tower to get the second one. So it was the first drop, but it was the second drop that I got on the first completion.
First completion, second drop. Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah. I mean, why wait for it? Just to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna get this drop and be done. Exactly. I've run a bunch of non-grandmasters. I've run a bunch of the match-made ones. I forget what they renamed them to, hero or whatever, or legend, whatever the match-made one is. And I've gotten 1 hung jury out of that, but I've gotten like 9 exotics. Like, it's handing out exotics like candy.
In one drop, in the one drop that we did complete, I got 6 ascendant shards. 6.
Ooh, those will be gone by next week.
Oh, they're already half gone.
Yeah, I mean, just this week I've gotten Precious Scars, 2 Hoarfrost Z's, MK44 Sanicides, Eternal Warrior, 2 One-Eyed Masks, and a Severance Enclosure, a Mask of the Quiet One. Now, I wish half of those had decent rolls on them. Yeah, like I think one of them is a decent roll, and I think it's one of the 2 Hoarfrost. So it's like, it's not good exotics, but it's handing them out like candy. And yeah, materials, I mean, left, right, and center. And I was running with the blue screen this morning, and he got 2 Orpheus rigs in the same drop. It's like, here you go, just have 2 of these. One of them, he's like, yeah, one of these is okay. The other one is absolute trash. And then Pan got the 2 God rolls. He got 2 hung juries with the God roll. Unfortunately, they're split across the 2 separate hung juries.
I feel for you, Pan. I really do.
Like, I've got kinetic tremors on this one, and then and yeah, something stupid like Adagio, or I don't remember what the other roll was. It was like I have 1 good roll and 1 absolute trash thing, and I've got Adagio and Shoot to Loot, and then Frenzy Rapid Hit on the 2 I've gotten so far. I'm like, yeah, they're the non-adept ones, just the regular. I would like a new adept one, but haven't had the time to properly go into the Grandmaster this week and have enough time to do it.
It's not so bad. Not so bad.
Yeah,
there's definitely strats to doing it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
2 Bubble Titans apparently works fairly well, but we also found out that unless Bungie has since fixed it, you can shoot through the shields with Skyburner's Oath scout rifle.
Haven't fixed it as of right before recording this.
Nice.
You can shoot through the shield, really?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You can take Skyburners and shoot the generator.
I found that out after you got your God roll, so I figured, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to come back and help. But yeah, discovered that little gem.
Yeah.
So you can't damage the boss. You just damage the shield. Okay.
Yeah.
Has it worked?
I've gone back in there with T-Rex again because I figured, T-Rex is used to it. I just needed to find another Titan, right? And T-Rex ate all of our revives, dude. Like, God, he was dying every freaking couple of seconds, man. I'm not going to say
negative words about T-Rex, but he's a good guy.
He's a very good guy, but I don't know why he was so off his game this time, dude. But, like, he was just eating all the freaking revives, dude.
Yep.
Listen, he looked. It
was your fault. You were dying.
He looked at the Titan and saw the Titan, holding that big fist up, and was like, "This is what I used to punch things." And then that's it. Yeah, I've basically been running around with Nactix's strand build, which the entire thing is suspend all the things, and then they can't hurt you. And,
that's how we got through it the first time.
Yeah, and I've basically been using the melee to get away from things. Like every now and again, I'll wail on something, but mostly it's running away.
We're talking about masters, not legend.
Yes.
It's a little.
We're talking about grandmasters.
I you guys are doing grandmasters. I've done the other two that aren't grandmasters, whatever they've renamed them to this season.
Yeah.
He's trying to say you revived me at the wrong time. That was one of the freaking 14 revives you used up.
Seriously, those minigun cabals, they are absolutely ridiculous.
It's important to revive your friends right before the fireballs get there, so then the fireballs can hit them while you run away. That's how you do it.
Right.
No. Just do the revive them in front of the minigun cabal. He literally, before they even start the animation, kills them again.
Yep.
Like instantaneously. Like it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Them fireballs do way too much damage. Even with AoE resistance and even with fireball resistance, they still one of those will take you to half health or lower.
No, the fireballs aren't that bad. The minigun's the worst thing in the world. Like,
fair enough.
Actually feels like real life minigun where you get hit by 1 or 2 bullets and you're just done.
You're done. Yeah.
So yeah, it's very realistic. The cabal is too realistic for the game, honestly. I'm supposed to be a guardian. I have the powers of the universe in my hand, and yet a minigun literally dissipates me in 0.5 seconds. The TTK on that thing is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm just saying it feels like Call of Duty, not Destiny, when you're playing against that one cabal. And then they made him into a barrier champion. Oh,
they made him into a super barrier champion. You actually have to. If we didn't have this bugged freaking thing, you'd have to go in the bubble while he's shooting you to kill him.
Yeah.
So,
Could be worse. He could be unstoppable, or even worse, he could be overloaded.
Well, the unstoppables, you were the only one having an issue with that, dude. We didn't have any issue.
I don't have an issue with unstoppables. I was just saying. No.
I
don't have an issue with unstoppables. I was just saying a minigun carrying cabal, if he was unstoppable, or overload, would probably be a lot worse.
Yeah,
probably.
I'll take barrier out of the 3 all day. Although again, when they can't, when their feet can't touch the ground,
I'll take unstoppable all day.
Yeah, barriers can. The healing barriers do is ridiculous.
Yeah, at least unstoppables don't heal. I don't care how bad they are. If they don't heal, I can kill them. The barriers, the overloads. What person?
Dude, and we got played so bad because the barrier. He popped his barrier. We brought down his barrier, and I immediately jumped in the air to super him and kill him. He put his barrier immediately right back up. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I don't know what you were thinking.
And then of course he healed because my animation apparently is long enough for him to actually start his healing process. I'm like, what?
No, the worst thing in the world is when you finally get him down weak enough to break his bubble, and then you start shooting his bubble, and you have to go through almost your entire magazine to break his bubble. But you run out of rounds right before his bubble breaks, and you have to reload, and then he heals all the way back up.
That's why I recommend Wishender. I recommend one person have a Skyburners, and at least one person have a Wishender. Wishenders, you don't have to worry about the reload, and they do so much damage to the tanks and the mini tanks, dude.
Yeah,
so Wishender is really, really good for this Nightfall if you're using that. But again, have at least one Skyburners.
Yeah, that's I was looking at Nightfall.report earlier.
Micah, shut up.
Yeah. I was looking at the Nightfall.report site because it does like trials report what people are using in the Nightfalls. 46% of people running with Wishender, 42% Skyburners, and then power weapons to toss up commemoration, cataclysm.
The power weapons really don't matter. You rarely ever use them. Yeah, you rarely.
Yeah, you're freaking primary all day. I was literally like, you know what? I need to use my heavy. Like I gotta remember to use my heavy. It's there for a reason. I gotta use it. But it's like you never find a good reason to use it.
Yeah, I was just running with an avalanche with incandescent on it, going. At least I can apply some more scorch to things and won't blow myself up when someone inevitably jumps in front of me or a shield comes up or whatever. I was running Cry Mutiny and blew myself up too many times. It's like, yeah, no, this is.
Yeah,
I'm living up to my clan name. I am. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't do that. I love grenade launchers, but yep, if it ain't, what's it called? What is the name of that one?
What, bud?
With the parasite.
Yeah.
If it ain't parasite, then it's just like you're gonna kill yourself at least once.
Oh yeah.
Actually, if it is parasite, you're gonna
Without
kill
fail.
yourself at least
No,
once.
but parasite doesn't kill you though. It just
Yeah.
gets you weak.
Yeah, that's the one where it doesn't
Parasite can't
immediately
kill
blow
you?
you up.
You sure?
Nope. Yep.
Oh.
It's a part of its mechanic. If you shoot yourself with
Yep.
parasite, it increases the damage.
You get
Which is
gooey,
kind
but
of
you
stupid.
don't get dead.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it can get some pretty nutters damage as long
So
as
what do you got to do? You got to shoot yourself on the foot first, and then shoot the second one?
catch yourself in the blast radius on the shot.
No kidding.
Yep. If you catch yourself in the blast radius of the shot, which means be in a position to be killed, then its damage will be multiplied by a certain amount. I can't remember how much, like 30 or 40%, something like that. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Hey, Peroty, did you by chance happen to catch True Vanguard really stepping in the fire about 2 days ago?
Possibly. I have actually watched some YouTube this week, not because I knew we weren't going to have a night demon this weekend, but I actually had some time to put stuff on. Which I've seen a couple of things of his. Which one in particular?
He decided that he wanted to make a video about saying how good and potentially busted Titans are.
Oh yeah,
Archetypes particularly are in PvP.
Oh yeah,
we need to be reeled in.
We need to talk about Archetypans in PvP. Yep.
And the comment section went in on him.
Oh,
he even had to apologize. He plays everything, but his main is actually a warlock. But he does play Titan, particularly a couple of different builds, but he's not a Titan main. But he plays everything, but his love is warlock, hunter, then Titan, kind of in that order. And he was like, "Hey, I play Titan too, so I can." There's people like, "You're not a Titan main. We went through your entire history of videos and counted up all the videos you actually play Titan, and your results are 20% are Titan, 30% are Hunter, and 50% are Warlock. You're not a Titan main. You can't call for nerfs or call for adjustments when you don't even play the class like we do."
I mean, 20%, that seems a little high, don't you think? Those are rookie numbers. We need to bring those numbers down.
Yeah, they went ham on him. I almost felt bad about him, but I had to say a few words myself. So yeah, I left a couple of paragraphs in there.
You commented on a video? Really?
I did. He responded too. So I'm just like, yeah. I was like, man, like this take, bro. This take. It's kind of bad. It's kind of bad.
It is certainly a take.
It is.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, yeah, sure. Those are words you can say. You can put that out there and just, and I'm pretty sure he said in the video, he's like, I know this is gonna rain all the fire down on me. It's like, yeah, I mean, as long as you know what you stepped into. You stepped into the war with the Cabal. I mean, you brought it on yourself. I'm just,
But it wouldn't have brought about so much. I mean, are we gonna go over his whole take or nay?
I don't know what's going on.
Because it's talking about archetypes. So okay.
Yeah. Tell Respawn how PvP works and what an Arc Titan is and how it works in PvP. Get Respawn up to speed.
You saw my clip. You saw my clips. Basically, everything I did in my clips is what he was talking about. But what he was saying was Titans are a little bit too broken in PvP. That they can get into a fight, and once they get some melees off, they have increased lunge distance. They get healed after they get a kill, and then they could just keep rolling from there, and just do a bunch of shenanigans. And they need to be reined in a bit. He was saying they need to have their shoulder charge put on a timer so that way they can't spam it infinitely because it gives them too much mobility. They need to have their lunge distance. I think he said they need to do something to, tweak that so that way it only lasts for one kill. You only get the lunge distance for one kill and not for a certain period of time, which I think is 3 seconds or 4 seconds. They reduced the time in the last patch. He said they need to have the lunge distance nerfed so that way they can't lunge at multiple people. It only is a one and done lunge, and something else he was saying. I guess with the dash and to rein it in, some other stuff like that. But he was just saying, just overall, the kit it flows so well together, but it's too good in PvP, and he thinks that Titans are overtuned. So people did not take that take very well. And I'll highlight the main points and the bad takes about that take. Um, Titans have already, particularly Arc Titans, in the past month have already received about 3 or 4 nerfs specifically to their melee kit. They decreased the time that you have when you have the buffs from I can't remember the name of the aspect is. I don't have Destiny up right now, but it's where if someone hits you, you have increased melee damage and resistance for a period of time. That aspect, everybody has that aspect, but they nerfed that aspect, which directly affects Titans. They nerfed that so that way it doesn't last as long. Then they also nerfed the time that you have to initiate a melee after doing a powered melee attack, so you can't 1-2 combo someone before they can react. So they got rid of that, increased that time frame, and that makes a heck of a difference because now if you get a powered melee off on someone, they can shotgun you before you can finish them off with a second melee. They couldn't do that before. Now they can counter you, which sucks, and I hate it, but that's what they've done. Hopefully they revert it. But they did that, and then they did another nerf to, I
So
think,
you're trying to say that they don't deserve to be able to counter you whenever you need a punch? You should by no matter
yes.
what the scenario is, once you initiate that punch, you deserve to have that kill, and people don't deserve to be able to survive.
If a warlock can throw an ice beam at me and then just punch me and kill me, and I can't respond or do anything to get out of it, yes. Any counters to that?
Well, you could also use ice to freeze them. So yeah,
No. Oh, okay. All right. So they can have it,
no, we're going for
but I can't.
we're going tit for tat, right? So tit for tat.
They can
What
have it.
what do
I
they have
can't.
for arc that can do that? You know what I'm saying?
They can run arc themselves. But my
Right.
point is, like the mechanic of being able to initiate a melee and someone not be able to do anything at all to respond, period, is in the game. And you go after one of the least prevalent ones and say, well, that's a problem. Not so much, because there are mechanics that exist that can get you out of that situation. There is nothing that can get you out of someone throwing an umbral blast at you, period. Nothing you can do. You just sit there waiting to die, hoping that they just are too stupid or too slow or have to reload their gun before they can shoot you. Like, there's nothing you can do. So that crap exists in the game, but you're not nerfing that. So why take away the active momentum of someone else's? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's nonsensical. So, but whatever, Bungie's balanced. So, with
No hard
that,
feelings, all right.
yeah, with that, yeah, it's like that. So, the pushback basically came to why would you want to harm Arc Titans for being effective and having a cohesive kit that flows very well together with everything. Literally, Arc Titans are it's like a love letter to Titans. Literally, the whole kit flows so well together, and you could tell that they're trying to do that flow for all of the other subclasses in the game. They're trying to, but they did such a great job with Arc Titan. Like, I have no complaints with the kit on Arc Titan because it all flows.
Well,
Everything works
you're
well.
kind of admitting it right there. They did such a great job that it's so
They
good.
did.
Something needs to happen to it. It can't just
No,
stay on top.
no. That's
I mean,
not what
it
that
goes back to the
means.
whole the tallest nail gets hit first.
So here's where the pushback is. That does not mean Titans need a nerf. If you made a kit that flows well together, it does not mean Titans need a nerf. What it means is all the other kits that don't have that same flow, you need to work to try to increase them and get them to that same level. That should be the standard, to have a kit that flows well together. Just because it flows well together does not mean it's oppressive and that it's over dominant. In PvP, I go through multiple matches where I maybe see 1 or 2 Titans running Arc in about an hour. Like, this, it's not a whole lot. You'll see a bunch of different things, but you won't see a whole lot of Titans running around doing the shenanigans that I'm talking about. And doing what I do specifically, I maybe see 1 or 2 a week. And I play a bunch of 6v6
We got
constant, nonstop.
AZ saying Titans are way too powerful. And even T-Rex, who is a
Well,
Titan, says, yeah,
he,
Peregrine Greaves with shoulder is lit, you know?
yeah, Peregrine Greaves' shoulder is lit, but Peregrine Greaves' shoulder is not over prevalent. You only see maybe 1 or 2 Titans every day who run Peregrine Greaves. And they've already nerfed Peregrine Greaves, so I'm not worried about that. And Az is a Warlock main. So is
But
TV.
okay, if they've
So
nerfed it, you can still one-shot with it, though. So how is it nerfed?
because you could one shot with the basic melee, and what Peregrine Greaves allowed you to do
Hold
is
on,
one
hold
shot
on,
supers.
stop, turn around. You can one-shot with a basic melee, you said?
I said because you could one shot with the regular melee, the regular power melee.
Uh-huh,
And then with Peregrine Greaves, you could one shot people out of their supers.
uh-huh,
Now, that is not as possible. Like, there are supers that will
as
survive
possible.
Peregrine
Well,
Greaves.
see,
Yeah.
Bungie, the whole point Bungie was trying to say is they were trying to remove one-shot abilities. And you're saying that you, as
Did
a
you
Titan,
not? Did I not send you a trip mine grenade video? Shut up.
yeah, well,
Thank you.
as a
All right.
hunter, I don't know how the hell they're doing that. I used strip mine for a whole ass week and was rarely getting one-shot.
That is the one video that I've actually caught it on. It happens more often than you would think. So, where literally I'll be full health, and I showed you. In the video, I had some damage. I sat and waited till I was full health, started running, and then tripped mine. I'm dead.
I'm not
And,
saying you didn't send me. What I'm saying is,
and you know what the worst part is about it,
I played
Peroty?
Iron Banner with you for a whole week,
Peroty, you
and I
know the
used
worst part
nothing but
about it
strip
is when I die, you know how you can see the highlighted body of the person that killed you?
mine.
The
They're
person that
400
killed me is
miles away.
somewhere all the way across the map, running around
Yep.
on the opposite side of the map.
That dude is already
Because the
in
trip
his
mine
next
stays
game.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
That dude has left this
3
game. He's moved on to the next game. He's killing different people.
3 encounters, like 3
Mhm.
encounters deep into his match. Like, and there's a trip mine that's been there for about literally 45 seconds. Like, what the heck is this, dude? What the heck is this? So yeah. Anyway, it's just respawn. So
No, I'm not getting stressed because I even have it on
no,
recording.
because you're
No,
bringing up
listen,
you're
you gave me one
bringing up
example. You
As
gave me
says that
one
they're
example.
overpowered.
You
So
gave me one
let me
example where you
finish.
got one shot, but I
So
have a week's worth of videos where I'm hitting people with
maybe you're
the
not
game,
playing it right.
and they're being lit on fire, and they get down to 1 HP.
Well,
Rarely do they
I
die.
don't know what to tell you, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you don't know how to hunt her very well. So,
Okay.
Unless your
So
kid
you
is
just
because you
can't
saw
say
the
trip
video.
mine, so I'd rather run
Because
mobility
you
Titan
saw the
instead of
video.
resistance Titan.
You saw the video. I haven't ran mobility since last
Mhm.
season. So,
Mhm.
The thing
yeah.
about PvP is I'm thoroughly convinced you can have 6 people running the exact same build, exact same stats, exact same loadout, and you will have 6 different results.
Mhm.
I think partially it's because, whether it's networking, call it spaghetti code, call it non-dedicated service, call it whatever you want. I think you're going to have different experiences. There's different sets of variables. The way the game rounds the numbers up or down depending. Because yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like I've seen things in run builds going, this should work this way. I've seen this work this way, and then sometimes it just doesn't. And it's like, okay, what are you running? What did you build into? What are you doing that I'm not aware of that's allowing you to, survive this encounter? Or it didn't quite take, it may have showed that animation of tick damage, but you didn't actually take the damage, whatever it may be, and you snuck away with that empty bar of health, going, oh, okay, yeah, sure. There were a couple times I've run this week just running Nightfalls or running in PvP where I had no health bar. Like there was no red on that bar. It was gone, and yet I'm alive and running around. So I think sometimes at the end of the day, it's just sort of you roll the dice and go, well, sometimes I die, sometimes I don't. It's frustrating. I'm not going to say it's not. Like, it's absolutely maddening going, I hit him with this and this and this, and he didn't die. He spun away and ran off somewhere else. How is that possible? Because I think it's at the point now where the builds are complex enough, and you've got the ones where it's like, I've got 6 ways to heal and 16 ways to do this. Like, something has kicked in, something has triggered, and in this particular instance, you got away just in the nick of time, or I didn't get away just in the nick of time.
Yeah, but back to the subclasses. That should be the standard.
Agreed.
Like, Arc Titan is not busted. It's effective. It's good. It's fun to play.
It's got good synergy.
Are counters.
Yeah,
yes, it's
great
Bungie,
synergy. Yeah, Bungie has been telling us build into this. Use these synergies. Live that power fantasy. Well, this is what this should be the gold standard. Let me build into the rest of them like this.
Synergy from melees, and that's why their melees are good, because their synergy is supposed to be into melee. Literally, the whole thing is you get a melee kill, any melee kill, you become empowered, and then you can go around and do fun stuff. And you have to build into that. And there are so many counters against you getting that melee. There are hand cannons, shotguns, pulse rifles, fusion rifles, submachine guns, rockets, everything, every weapon in the game prevents you from getting to that distance where you can do that melee. That's why they gave you, Jesus, good God, from across
vortex
the map.
Grenades, fusion grenades,
everything.
There's
all
big
that,
giant suns of the warlocks
abilities.
they can throw on the ceiling and drip fire down onto you.
So all that, including your abilities that prevent you from being able to do that. But when you are able to accomplish that and survive, then you have an empowered abilities to run around and keep that train rolling for a certain period of time. And it makes it's a fun mechanic. And everybody has that mechanic to a certain degree. Just ours is initiated by melees. Great.
Yeah.
So, but the way I see it is, you don't need to go around and say, oh, well, this is actually very good. It's not busted because it's not over proliferated in combat. Like, it's not crazy because you don't see a ton of it, and it's not dominating PvP like that. And you need to bring other subclasses that flow that well. One subclass that I think actually kind of has that flow that works really well, where you don't have to do a lot to get it going, and actually it's even easier. Is
Void Hunter.
Honestly, no, the Strand Warlock.
We just have to dodge. That's it.
Well, yeah.
Actually, I'm talking PvE. I'm talking PvE. Sorry, not PvP.
But in PvP, like the Strand Warlock, all you do is pop your rift. You get a bunch of threadlings, like every time, and those threadlings, you get enough threadlings to one-shot someone. Literally,
you send that small army out, and it's all over.
Literally every time you start a fight, and then
they
run out.
Aggressive when it comes to tracking. Like, wow.
Especially if you run the aspect and the thing that gives them more damage. They can one-shot you, and then you get a bunch of them. So that's one example, and it's a very simple thing of what the threadlings do, but literally that thing flows so well.
Yeah.
Is it busted? It is when it's killing you, but in general, no, it's not.
It's killing you.
Yeah,
everything is busted when it's killing you.
Yeah, but when I'm using it, it's amazing, and the gameplay loop. That's the other thing. It's like some of the things you can do, and some of Plum of the Booty's more recent builds for like Titan War or like Strand Titan. Some of the gameplay loops you need to do to accomplish what they're trying to do. It's like, yeah, I could do these 6 things. I could punch a guy, or actually, no, I think it was like a Solar Warlock build where it's like, okay, I can punch a guy and jump in the air and then use the heat rises to come down, and that triggers this. It's like that. There's too much going on in that loop. Yeah, I can pull it off sometimes, but there's something beautifully simplistic about. I throw my rift down, I get my threadlings. Let me go at you with my necrotic grips and Osteostriga or not. I can get that poison. I can use that jolt.
Please not talk about Osteostriga. I literally have hate mail that I want to send to every and I'm wondering, is it because we have so many new players that there's so many people playing Osteostriga, but I really want them to go away. Kill me with an immortal. Kill me with a hand cannon. No, F hand cannons. Kill me with an immortal or something else or whatever. But literally, I just hate a submachine gun that tracks, that you don't even have to aim at all, literally, and you just get free hits on that crap. It's so annoying. I freaking hate people who use Osteostriga. And it's everyone. Titans, Warlocks, Hunters. There's 1 or 2 Osteostrigas in every match right now. It's so annoying.
See, I was trying to run Osteostriga in trials with my Warlock. Again, using the necrotic build with my Strand Warlock. I wasn't having that much success with it. Like, I wasn't getting that many kills. Was I doing a take damage to people? Yeah, probably. but like I didn't feel like I was having that much success with it because I was getting out. Like you can send those bullets over there, but it's not hitting as hard or doing as much damage. Yeah, like am I getting the damage over time? I'm sure I am, but am I getting the kills?
It's not gonna literally like run the lobby. It's not. It's just annoying.
Okay.
Like
So
it's
not dominance,
annoying.
just enraging. So like every Jotun user, they may not be wiping the lobby, but you heard that ding, and then you're like, okay, I'm either about to be nuked or
yeah, kind of like that. Like, I mean, because I can run a lobby with a Jotun, but I mean, but the thing is, like, no, it's not that bad because they're at a disadvantage because their RPMs are so slow and the movement of the bullets are so slow. But at the same time, if you try to gunfight them and strafe, especially since you don't run high mobility right now as a Titan, then you're going to get killed because there's no way you can strafe fast enough to dodge the bullets. Yeah, if you're a high mobility hunter, then yeah, your strafe is going to be high. You can move and dodge those bullets easily.
Yeah,
but in general, you have to have the high mobility in order to do that. And I've been doing more gunplay, so it's annoying as crap fighting them. It's so freaking annoying.
Another thing that makes the Arc Titan good is you can use that thruster, and it's not a dodge, but it serves the same purpose. You can get yourself out of danger.
See, I'm hearing a lot of another thing that makes Arc Titan good, another thing that makes Arc Titan good, another thing that makes Arc Titan good, and then you're arguing that it doesn't need to be nerfed. You just listed 9 reasons why it's good, but no, don't nerf it.
Okay,
no.
all right. So let's list
it's
9.
good for all these reasons.
So let's list 9 reasons why my solar hunter.
Is it good? Yes. But is it? Yeah. Is it good in a vacuum? Yes. Is it good compared to all the other kits and all the other things in PvP? It can be in the right hands, but this is not throw on my not forgotten and my one-eyed mask and clear lobbies without my brain on. Is it a good kit? Yes. Is the synergy there? Yes. Is the
one-eyed mask?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like like when the meta was like throw on the one-eye mask and that's it, you're going to win the games.
Yeah.
Like is it a good kit?
You have 3 or 4 one-eye masks running around the same match every match.
Right.
And
like,
that's what I'm getting at. Like if
saying,
you're trying to say, oh, it's dominating. Okay, that means you got 3 or 4 Titans running around punching people every single match. You don't have that. You don't have Loreley Splendor running around and then setting up fires and then just popping people from across the map constantly, or one-shotting people with Enigma's draw or hand cannon or something like that. You don't have any of that. So for the fact people are saying, oh, it's so good, it needs to be nerfed, this stuff is not super prevalent. Like, it's not happening to this degree at all. You're
getting gunned down by SMGs before you even get there to lay a hand on anybody.
Ever. Like, seriously. People are just like, it's almost like cancel culture right now. It's the new hot thing. Nerf this, nerf that. Ooh, I got killed by this. Nerf it now. No.
Isn't that what you were doing with trip mines? Isn't that exactly what you were saying with trip mines?
No. I said something needs to be done with the trip mines because
don't nerf them, but do something. My God. Right? No.
Here's my complaint.
Listen,
that I can deal with it one-shotting you, but the combination of it being able to one-shot you, and when someone throws a trip mine, I have to unload an entire magazine just to destroy it.
Don't destroy it. Turn around and go somewhere else, dumbass.
Okay, so no, Respawn, because in a PvP match, if you throw a grenade and you
it's
have
called
45
area denial.
seconds,
Same thing as a dust field. You don't walk through the dust field.
Respawn, 45 seconds of area denial with a grenade that can come back in 30 seconds is literally, you can have constant area denial for the entire match. No, because once that trip mine blows up, they get over half their energy back, meaning that they can have aerial denial for the entire match.
Okay, go the other way.
There is no other way because the range, the freaking distance.
I'm pretty sure there's more than one way on every PvP map for you to travel.
And if you have more than 100 throwing that stuff, they can deny every single lane. The thing is, with any kind of grenade, you're supposed to be able to destroy it. Like, I've sat there and like, okay, he throws a grenade. One shot normally destroys a regular trip mine grenade. and I have to lay into this trip mine grenade in order to destroy it. Or if I try to bypass it, it will kill me. So if I try to shoot it, then the other guy comes up behind and is like, okay, well, since you're just shooting my thing, I can just kill you quickly.
Yeah, but everybody's got a thing. You can also suppress people with grenades and your melees and stuff, right? I mean, not
Respawn.
our Titans, but everybody's got something that they can
The
do,
trip mine
right?
grenade shouldn't have more health than a guardian.
Why not?
I
It's an
don't.
inanimate object.
I don't have to.
You
I
telling
don't
me a
have to
tank shouldn't have
unleash.
more health
I
than a
don't have to
Guardian?
unleash an entire magazine to kill a Titan or to kill a Guardian at all.
Yeah,
Why
but
does a
it's
trip
not a
mine
Guardian.
grenade
It's an
have?
inanimate
Why does a
object.
trip mine grenade have more health than a Guardian?
Because it doesn't have a life. It's not alive, Micah.
You're trying to
It's
make
not a
yes.
Guardian.
Yeah,
Why
I
should it
know,
have
right?
as much health as a Guardian if
Right.
it's not a
It's a
Guardian?
clump. It's a clump of cells. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
It's not even a
So
clump of cells. It's not even that.
I think this is going completely off the rails.
Right.
And I'll just, I think we
But
can all
yeah,
wrap this up by
Respawn
saying
just always being the freaking whatever it is, the devil's advocate. That's
Oh,
all.
the,
That's just
because
always
no,
his
you
thing.
guys are all like, "Oh,
the
it's so good for all these reasons, but it doesn't need a nerf." No, hunters need a nerf. In fact, yes.
I didn't say
Titans,
nerf her.
no,
Titans
we're,
who
I didn't
have
say
these
nerf.
9
we're,
things that are so. You
we're,
said
we're,
something needs to be done, Micah.
we're
So, do we
saying
need a
bring,
buff?
I
we're
said
saying
the
Do we
bring
need a?
trip doesn't have
Okay,
help with the
yes,
Guardian.
you didn't say nerf. Do we need a buff?
buff the synergy and the gameplay of the other classes to give them a kit you can play with and flow in the same way. If Bungie wants a power fantasy, give that power fantasy to the other classes. Let me play like an Arc Titan. Let me play like a Strand Warlock. Give me that gameplay loop where I can really lean into the fantasy of that class. And yeah, make it something easy and fun to play.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Can I have my
Give that to
my
everybody.
2 frozen shurikens freeze Titans again? Or can I, if I land both shurikens, can I kill a Titan?
Listen,
Can we have that?
I think we can all agree remove stasis from the game. Stasis is garbage, and we should never have put stasis in the game. Strand is a trillion times better. Stasis is trash.
I mean, and you can have your 2 shurikens freeze, but here's the thing: they can't bounce off of walls, and you have to aim it directly. That you get no aim assist.
I'd actually be okay with that.
I'd be okay with it too. Because as I already showed you, because someone tried to argue with me about our melees, and they were like, "Yeah, well, you have this." I was like, "Oh yeah, well, don't forget your throwing daggers." He's like, "Well, I'm throwing daggers. You have to have skill." I'm like, "Don't hit me with that BS." I've already
You
taken
do?
my friend into PvP, into a private match, and we already showed that from 15 plus meters away, he can throw it with his cursor being completely off my head, and it will pull to my forehead to give him a one-shot kill. I'm like, "We've already proved it." I'm like, "You can go and do it yourself." I'm like, "So don't give me that skill at all. A throwing hammer, you better be spot on with that because a throwing hammer never homes in, period."
They do
Those
have
little
tracking, though. Don't
daggers.
tell me it doesn't have tracking.
No, it
It even says
doesn't.
it's got a level of tracking.
No, it does not. Take a
I
throwing
think we
hammer
need to
into
go back in PvP.
take a
Here we
throwing hammer into
go.
there.
Oh,
Take a throwing hammer into there.
a
Throwing hammer has no track.
my friend, throwing hammer it's gonna go exactly where you put it.
Exactly.
Wherever that is, there is no tilt, there is no side, often off the edge of the map.
None.
It's gonna go
It's a
straight
straight
forward
line.
from wherever you happen to throw it. There is no bend to that hammer. That is only
Even
forward.
even in PvE, that's why people get upset
Oh,
because they're like, "Oh,
particularly
I
in
lost my
PvE.
hammer."
The
They're
number
like,
of
"I lost my
times,
hammer." You know why? Because you
Mhm.
got to be direct on the person.
the number of times I've thrown a hammer right by somebody in PvE when it's like you were right there. It's like, nope, sorry, you threw it 1 inch to the right of his shoulder. Sorry, it went by him. That's life.
No, you threw it at the shoulder. You should have been aiming at the head. Like, yeah, I went over the shoulder. Like,
Head, you
nah,
should have been aiming at center mass, and then you'll try at least hit something out of him.
that hammer has no kind of AA at all. So yeah, you
It
remove the
tries its
AA from
best.
daggers, I'll be okay. And oh my gosh, seriously, I don't understand why
Okay.
they
Well,
give.
I'll remove the AA from my daggers if I don't have to shoot you in the face 3 times to charge the 1 shot. It should just be 1 shot all the time then.
And so should Titan melee.
And I'll remove my AA. Well, they are Peregrine Greaves, ACD feedback fans.
No.
What's the
ACD
exotic
feedback
you use,
fans aren't
Micah?
one shot. They're not one shot.
Well, which one you use?
It's
Synthesteps.
you hit
That's the
me.
one, right?
Don't.
Synthesteps.
Yeah, but you have. I have to have 3 of you around me. I have to be at a disadvantage.
Synthesteps is I can reach
Yeah,
you further,
because
but
that never happens in
is-
PvP, right? You never have
It
people
only
close
happens
to you.
when I. It only
Yeah.
happens when I make it happen. But people honestly don't play like me in PvP very often. You don't find a lot of people like me. That's the thing
Synthesteps
about it.
is
That's what I mean. Like
So-
I'm not great, but I'm pretty good. And there aren't a lot of people that play like me or have the same style of play. Like most people want to fight with guns. Really, honestly, a lot of people don't want to be in their face and try to melee like at all. Even my brother, like he be sitting back, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sit behind my barricade and shoot you." I'm like, "Nah, I don't want to do that. I want to get in your face.
I want to reach out and touch something." So
I just want to shake your hand. That's it."
yeah, did you by any chance see any of Cammy Cake's videos this week? Because I know he's done a couple on metas and PvP loadouts, and he was doing one where he talked about his like one of his PvP loadouts. It was basically like, so here's my anti-S ward builds that I put on, and I'm gonna get hate mail no matter what. I'm gonna get hate mail from it because I'm guessing he plays, similar to how you're playing, up in your face, super aggressive. I'm gonna reflect things back at you, and then go to town you with, again, insert close range weapon here. Pick your favorite shotgun, SMG, sidearm of choice.
Yep, absolutely. I play that too.
Yeah.
What's knockout?
I was doing it before they were putting out videos. Knockout is the ability that allows us to start our healing after we get a melee kill.
Well, somebody's telling me Synthos can one shot with knockout without being surrounded.
You still have to get a kill, and you have to get a couple of things going. It's not a guaranteed. You have to get a few things going before it actually works.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, can it? Yes. Can it do it every time? No. And I think that's, this entire conversation is basically boiled down to the thing that I get killed by, I think is BS, and I hate it, and I'm tired of it. And also, yes.
And Mikey doesn't want knives nerfed. He just wants something to be done to them.
And yes, is this possible? Absolutely. Is this possible every time? No. And also, where are you playing? Because I think the meta and what I think, and that's the big piece of, I'm seeing tons of this, I'm not seeing tons of this. One, we're all playing in different, again, whatever the matchmaking is this week, who knows what Bungie's actually doing behind the covers. But like, you're playing on PS4, you're playing on PS5, you're playing on PC, you're playing on Xbox Series X, you're playing on Xbox One. Those are all very different experiences. We're all playing the same game, but you are absolutely in a different pool of different people.
Absolutely.
With different
Mouse
frame
and
rates
keyboard
and different
also,
everything else is, yeah. So it's like the things, you may be seeing 1,000 Arc Titans over there, and I'm over here seeing something different. You may be seeing this thing over there, and also it may just be what you're running into this week, because sometimes it feels like you run into every Void Hunter or every Strand Warlock. You're like, that's all I've seen this week, and sometimes it's just like, I don't know, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. And then because sometimes I've gone back and looked to see, I swear to God, the last 6 matches it was all this one thing, and I'll go back and look at the post game Carnage reports on Bungie.net or through the app, and it was like, oh no, there was just 2 or 3 guys. But they were the 3-0, 2.5, 2-0 KD guys. I was seeing them because they were killing me over and over again. The rest of their team, running all sorts of other stuff, wasn't seeing them at all. So it's just the oppressive stuff I'm seeing because I'm getting killed by it constantly. Just like that one dude that kills you with the same weapon every time. You're like, how are you that good with this gun? Nobody should be that good with this gun, except you're that one guy who's like, nope, this is my thing.
But then you look at the PvP, the results screen, and this guy actually has 30 to 40 kills in the match while everyone else has 10 or 15. So it's also that not the lot. What is it called? Matchmaking, the matchmaking system, how it keys players in. I don't know what they're going by, but there's always one person that's completely running the lobby, and everybody else is looking in awe and wonder.
Yeah.
Well, he's the balance. You have 5 really bad people, and then that guy.
Yeah. I mean, PvP has always been whoever has the best person or team on their team is going to win. That's always what PvP has been. Congratulations!
Only knockout.
You got the Lord of the Game,
break, not on a kill, Micah. So you're wrong.
Again. Say it what?
Knockout procs on a shield break, not a kill. So you just got to break a shield.
Okay, no. For Syntheseps to one-hit kill, knockout has to already be procced.
Right.
You can't.
Apparently, you can do that by popping a shield.
No. You break a shield and you have a Syntheseps, you punch them, they're going to die whether you have a Syntheseps or not. You can't break a shield and then go and punch somebody else with your Syntheseps and get a one-hit kill from full health. When you break their shield and you get knocked out procced and your overcharged buff, then you can potentially go and one-hit punch someone else if you take a melee hit, because then you'll have that aspect where if you get a melee hit, then your next melee attack has increased damage for a short period of time. Then you can one-hit kill someone with your Synthos. Otherwise,
I have no idea. I'm trying to play Titan. I'm just reading the chat.
Respawn's like, I've heard of PvP. I hear people go in there for things. I'm unfamiliar with it myself, but
yeah. I mean, even with the throwing knife, though, like the testing Mike and I did, he was standing still. Yeah. But in PvP, people are running around, people are taking cover. So a throwing knife, even if it does one shot, it's hard to hit because people are ducking, dodging, moving in general, you know? So everything's got a balance to it, you know? I think the only reason they're attacking Titans is because Titans are too, I mean, you said it yourself, the kit just works too well together. You know, and if the kit works that well together, they got to do something to encourage you Titans to play something else. Well, if this works too well together,
why encourage us to play something else? They've already nerfed everything else.
Well, I know that. I hate the fact that they want us to play anything else when we find that thing that works anyway. That always bugs me. But that we live in their world, and that's what they do, right?
Well,
they don't want you doing one thing all the time. They want to change it up, so they're going to nerf it. So you have to play something else.
But that doesn't work.
Well, I mean, fair enough, but that's what they do.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be encouraging them to do that.
We're not. We have to deal with it.
No.
This is us complaining about it.
No. You're the one. You're saying, why don't they deserve nerf? I think they should be nerfed. If you're proliferating,
I didn't say they should be nerfed. I'm saying that's why they're being nerfed.
Peroty,
that's what I said.
Rewind the thing. Okay.
I said I think that's why they're being nerfed.
They're not being nerfed. They actually did receive a couple of nerfs, but if you're encouraging the mentality that, and on top of that, we're not talking about an exotic, because the thing with the trip mine grenade is only related to the exotic. The thing with some of the other stuff is only related to the exotic. We're not saying nerf exotics. We can nerf exotics. Go ahead, nerf exotics. You do that all the time. What I'm saying is, do not go off nerfing entire kits, like the actual play style of the freaking kit of a subclass. I'm not calling for the subclass of Void or Solar or anything else to be nerfed. I'm not calling for even not Void, but Stasis Warlocks to be nerfed with their Penumbral Blast and they're freezing you by doing their freaking Rift. I'm not even calling for any of that. That's their kit. Leave it alone. It's fine. That's their play style. Let it be that. Don't be calling for a nerfs of an entire subclass. That's freaking stupid. It's dumb. If the subclass is good, let the subclass be good. Let people enjoy the game. It's fine. If something particular needs to be brought down, okay, go ahead and bring that down. But don't be going off about nerfing whole kits.
You're saying, okay, off your point, let people enjoy the game, right? What you mean is let people that are using the broken class enjoy the game, because the people on the receiving end of your one-shot abilities, they're not enjoying the game, Micah.
There's no broken, dude. So here's the thing. All right. We take the subclass and we put it together, and you take it with no exotics. The subclass is good. As we said, it works good. It flows together. But you're not one-shotting anything with the basic subclass. The basic subclass does not allow you to do that. It makes it good where you can get 2 hits, get a kill, and then, you have a power melee, but that power melee still won't kill anything. It makes it good. It's a good kit. It flows together. The thing that makes it even better is what's supposed to make it better. When you add an exotic that enhances the natural capabilities of a kit. Throwing on a Syntheseps increases melee damage.
See, now you already got people like T-Rex whining about my throwing knife needs a nerf, right? The only reason it's that strong is because of the exotic, right? And it gets extra tracking and extra damage because of said exotic. And here you go. You already got a Titan in the chat complaining about it. About how that needs to nerf.
It's
based on an exotic. You take off that exotic, that throwing knife doesn't do that same stuff.
If you want to nerf, if you're talking about some exotics being too good, because it literally super easy and there's no investment whatsoever. Okay. All right, cool. But Syntheseps requires you to be in the most disadvantaged situation, period. Be surrounded by 3 people. That's the most disadvantaged situation. And if you find yourself in that situation, it gives you a buff to get yourself out of it.
If you're in kissing distance,
make it easy?
You've put yourself into kissing distance. If you can win the fight at kissing distance, more power to you.
Well, what's the range? Okay, well, that's something we haven't discussed, the distance, right? Now, for the 3 people to be around you, are they within 10 meters, within 20 meters, within 30 meters? Do they have to be within, you have to be able to touch them distance?
As your melee, extended melee, it's the same distance as your extended melee.
Are you sure about that? It says that?
Yes. Look it up. Particularly when hunters do their little dodge roll and then they get extended melee range and they get an instant, and there's another thing, they get an instant bump of health. We just start health regeneration. You guys get an instant bump of health every time you get a kill with that. And that melee is
with the knife?
increased power. No. The arc hunter roll and then melee.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You get extended distance on your melee and extended power. Literally for doing nothing but a roll. We have to get a kill.
No, it's not a roll. No. See, you're confused about that. The roll initiates the empowered melee, but
it's the second melee.
It's the second melee that does the extra damage, not the first one. So I have to hit you twice without you killing me to kill me. Bro,
if you roll,
look at the exotic. That's how that works, my dude.
If you roll next to someone, the next melee will have increased range and damage. And if you get the kill, it will give you a flat bump of health.
If you get the kill, yes. But the second melee is what does the damage. I'm telling you, bro. That is one of my main classes I use. The second punch is what gives the damage, dude.
So Syntheseps Dim's community insight tells me, the biotic enhancements, it gives you your 100% increased damage in PvP. It's 200% PvE. PvP is 100% increased damage. It increases your melee lunge range to 7 meters. So it takes it from whatever it is standard to 7 meters. When you're surrounded by, again, whatever the proc's surrounded. Again, if you're surrounded in PvP again, and you're able to punch your way out of that fight, then you're playing a bunch of blueberries who don't know how to PvP good.
Right. And I have a warlock and a hunter in the chat right now agreeing with me that the Titan punch that you're describing takes more prep time than your Titan that you're talking about just being able to punch.
The what? Okay, say it again because you repeated yourself and it sounded.
Sorry.
Which two things are we comparing?
The powerful punch on the hunter that you're talking about. Remember how I said it takes the second punch to do that or whatever? There are people in the chat, a warlock and another hunter, obviously, talking about how that hunter getting that powerful punch takes more prep than the Titan just coming in and punching.
Okay, so let's tackle that. So while I have to be in your face, basically within your,
I have to be in your face too.
No. Hold on.
Which exotic are we talking about?
Scenario
For the
we're just talking
hunter?
about Titan. We're talking about Titan's punch. So I have to be in your face. I have to run up on you, be in your face, and be facing you as a Titan and punch you in the face. Not once, twice to even get myself started. I have to hit you twice to get myself started.
If you hit me twice, I'm dead.
Yes, I know. I have to do that.
So what do you mean get started? I'm dead. You finished me. There's no starting.
No. I'm saying no to get the one hit Titan punch just with a basic melee with intercepts. I have to get a kill first, so I have to hit you twice first. Either that, or I have to be surrounded by you and your teammates. I still have to hit you twice and get that first kill in order for me to one shot after that. That is an entire setup where I have to get off 2 melees while standing in your face, where you could whip out a shotgun at any point and shoot me and kill me. Where if you even have 3 teammates around
anyway.
If
you do shotgun melee and you get the same result, don't you?
If you have 3, it potentially could.
Yeah, say it with me. Yeah,
but we're just talking about just the basics of the actual kit. We're not saying
no. You brought up us shotgunning
because
you
I'm talking about someone standing and defending themselves. Defending yourself is literally what everyone's going to do in the game. People aren't going to sit there and just say, "Oh, well, I'm just going to let you melee me." No, they're going to whip out a shotgun and shoot you in PvP.
Same thing with the hunters. You're not gonna let me hit you twice.
So let me finish. So with that, and if you're surrounded by 3 people, which gives you my extra power bump, your people can easily just gun me down. So more often than not, either I'll be dead or I'll get a trade. Seldom do I ever get, I can go around and now start one-shotting your whole team. Unless you find a bunch of blueberries.
The trade-off is
now,
if you land that hit,
the hunter scenario.
All 3 people in one shot, though.
Now, potentially, but that's not the prevalent. So now, with the freaking hunter, you run up to them, Let's say you just you have to do one melee first. You do one melee first. And then after that, what happens? You dodge. You're behind them. You broken LOS. And the other people who may be around, more likely they're not, don't even get the chance to shoot you because you've already dodged out the way. Then you get another instant melee that takes you a whole nother distance away and has extra power to one shot and heals you immediately. The difference in my situation, one, I have to have 3 people around which can kill me. You can do yours instantly in a 1v1. And you can dodge and get behind them and break LOS and have the advantage.
Your punch also blinds me and knocks me back.
No. My punch does not.
Which one?
The shoulder charge does. My punch does not. We're just talking about just the punch. I'm not talking about shoulder charge.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then if you're not talking about shoulder charge, then how are you counting my dodge? Because my dodge, I'm not invincible during a dodge. You can still hit me.
It's not about not about invincible. It's about the breaking the LOS. And there's something in Destiny right now
about
where
finding you when you dodge.
Yes. And there's something right now in
which
Destiny.
direction you've gone, and then to then continue engaging you.
Well, we're not going invisible when we dodge, so you can see where we go.
No. When you are in line of sight, you break that line of sight.
When you're that close, trying to figure out where you've gone. Did you go left? Did you go right? Did you go up? Did you go left
and up? Are you
up?
behind me?
Right, like trying to because if I'm that close to you, I'm right up close to you. You moved in some direction. I need to figure out where you are and re-engage with you quickly before you re-engage with me, because likely you've dodged and are now you can see me and I can't see you. Not because you're invisible, because you're not in front of me where the camera is pointing.
And then on top of that, even if you dodge backwards, I can't melee you back because that breaks one.
No. I gotta
no. In general,
tell you how many times when I dodge backwards.
In general, you cannot melee back because it pulls you out of that distance. And there's another thing that hunters and warlocks do in melee fights.
If you're on PC and you have a mouse, you may be able to whip it around that quickly and catch the person before they get out of range. If you're on controller, you're absolutely not going to.
I'm talking about if I jump backwards thinking I'm going to break your range, y'all have just closed out range anyway so many times. It's like,
but we haven't
running syntheseps in order to do that.
Right. You have been running syntheseps and still be in that, 7-meter range. I've absolutely had where a hunter will dodge away from me. I'll find them again, go to melee them with syntheseps, and they will not be in range. I have whiffed that.
So what it sounds like to me is Titans should just be using Peregrine Greaves like half the guys that I come across do. Right?
Yeah. If you're not skilled, go ahead, have fun.
You're not skilled.
No, seriously. That's what it is. Because syntheseps are absolutely the best.
And then you have to hope that your melee
you have to know how to
and
do them and know your ranges.
Yeah. And play on a subclass like the Arc that, at least has a better chance of connecting with the shoulder charge and syntheseps, because, hit detection, still not a thing.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Nothing has proven this to me more than having the Strand 3 melee attacks with my giant crab claws. The number of times you can whiff 1 or 2 of those for a PvE enemy
only hit one.
standing right next to you.
Hit 1 out of 3.
It's just
you
like, guys,
1 out of 3.
Like the only time I can connect with 3 of them in a row is if I'm against a cabal and I'm holding the controller in the direction of that cabal the whole time, because it will absolutely do its best to go off in a random direction. It's like, guys, the thing I want to kill is right here in front of me. What are you aiming at? Is there
that?
Is there a puka flying somewhere in the distance you saw? Is there a Vex 2 miles down the road you think I could hit? I don't understand this. The hit detection continues just to be absolutely random.
What it was, Peroty, it was
squirrel.
It was what?
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Oh, he broke up when he was saying it. The chat's all like, this is the most peaceful Hunter Titan debate I've ever seen. Micah and I have these conversations all the time, so getting mad at each other it doesn't make any sense. So this is just every day for us. So we don't get mad anymore.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
But
and now I think it's time to leave this particular argument behind, and we can talk about cheaters.
Yeah, but let's shut it down with this real quick. For subclasses particularly, just stop calling for nerfs. Just bring all the other classes up. Make everything in the game good.
Years about how Bungie even specifically said no more nerfs, and then that lasted all of half a season, right?
Respawn, they stopped nerfing. They're adjusting now. They're adjusting things now. They've stopped.
I don't care.
They're no longer nerfing. They're adjusting. See, they said, listen, we're gonna stop nerfing things. We're gonna adjust them instead. Good job, Bungie. Great work.
Yeah.
And yet here we are continuing to go back, getting punched in the face over and over again. So, I mean, clearly it doesn't matter what they do because we're going to come back and enjoy our suffering.
All right. Now,
I hate this game. I'll see you tomorrow.
Taking my ball and going home.
Right.
So Nitedemon would be very cross at me if we didn't at some point. Not that this has been a bad conversation. This has been.
I was going to say he's already going to be cross by this point.
No. Honestly,
hey, we haven't cursed at all so far in this whole thing.
I did.
Very little. Yeah, no. There's been very little to curse about, and we haven't had a single solitary story about Respawn's side quests in life. So I think this has been a win.
In that case,
nope. This has been a win. So at this point, we can go. I was actually delighted because we just have this week of Bungie for the 13th of April, 2023, and not like 7 more miles of things that they've released this week. Because all I like how they're telling us what they told us last week about reflecting on Lightfall, Grandmasters, which we've already moaned about, weapons coming and going, how they want to post their own cutscenes of those Prime Gaming rewards. And then this week we've got cheaters and the things they buy to cheat with. Accommodations for Dressany, Trials Lab, SOSI, right back into PvP conversations. How everybody gets a kilt. You get a kilt, you get a kilt, you get a kilt. Known issues, and then movie art in the week. So Bungie went after, Bungie stands on third-party peripherals entering their villain arc. They went after a bunch of people and, for making the cheaty things to plug into things with. And cheaters big mad. Apparently, that's what all the YouTube videos are telling me this week. Yeah, the cheaters are mad. Yeah, we're not. We don't care about them. So Bungie's, and Respawn and I talked about this a little bit on Potato Thumbs this week about like drawing that line between external accessibility aids, because again, there are people like who play the game who have accessibility issues and needs, who play with devices to make things easier for them, and Bungie's trying to draw the line of hey, like you can use the Xbox accessibility controller because it gets you to a level where people without additional needs and challenges are playing this game. It's not doing things like completely reducing your aim, your recoil, or maxing your aim assist out on every single weapon. It's like the line they're trying to draw is you can play with things that allow you to play the game, just like colorblind settings, like accessibility controls, things like that, but not breaking the game in ways it's not meant to break. And they clarified this week. I saw the Destiny 2 team has tweeted things like, hey, if you're playing with the Scuff controllers or the Elite controllers, like that is not cheating. That is not, taking advantage of the game, having, the additional buttons and stuff like that. They're talking about, the Cronus and the Zim devices that absolutely do things you should not be able to do in this game.
Like looking through walls, automatically aiming for you, things like that. But they mentioned it once again about how advanced macros will be banned, right? Like, where do you cut the line off on advanced macro, right? Because you have people that are using macros to do their skates, their warlock skating, their hunter skating, their whatever skating, with the swords or whatever. A lot of people have macros set up to do that, right? Now, I saw the other day somebody was teaching a hunter how to do a skate, and he goes, if you want to set up a macro, here's the macro. And it's like half the screen down, right? So would that be considered an advanced macro? Will you get banned for doing that, right? So, and then there's all kinds of other people talking about, well, I got a macro for just, buying engrams. I sit there, I push the button once, and it'll keep going until I push it again, right? So, like, where's that line at? What are we going to get banned for doing?
It stops in PvP. They don't want it in PvP. If you're doing a regular gameplay, they don't care.
We're making that assumption. They never say that. That is an assumption.
No. It's clear that they're talking about extra aim assist. They're talking about in PvP. They're not talking in trials specifically. They're not talking about in PvE. No one cares about a macro in PvE. No one cares if you have extra aim in PvE. I mean, if you need extra aim to shoot a slow walking giant head cabal, then more power to you. You can go ahead and get it if you need it. But no, it's primarily only talking about PvP. using macros in PvP should be banned, should not be allowed. You should not be able to do it because if you don't have the crazy hand and finger control to be able to initiate those type of commands on your own, you shouldn't be able to do it. If someone is able to do it, then guess what? They are so skilled at this game that they have the benefit of being able to do that. And I do honestly think that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's sort of what they, they read a whole bunch of words basically trying to, clarify this, but they sort of end it with saying, because of the benefits of cheating in PvE can affect things like the world's first race or spill into PvP, we will be evaluating this and looking at this. Yeah, but they basically say we're looking at this in PvP, and they do say, you basically they want you to experience the game the way the designers intended, and challenging, difficult, prestige content is designed like that for a reason. It's designed to be able to be done. It's not impossible. So if you're going and doing PvE content and you're using accessibility things to get there, you can flip the switch on the Xbox Elite controller so you don't have to pull that trigger down as far to shoot, things like that. Like that's not, you're not breaking the game by letting yourself fire maybe a little bit quicker. It's still your human finger pulling the trigger. It's not AI in the background, or it's not a third party device absolutely taking your 10th of a second reaction time to 100th of a second and doing it 10 times a second. I mean, I think are we going to see some people say, "Oh, I got banned for doing this thing and that thing"? Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, someone's going to have a macro and they're going to forget they have it on or bring it into PvP or whatever. Will there be cases?
Your
Absolutely. Fault. But or you could just play on a console and not have macros and just do it like a normal person and you're fine, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Have macros on a console, homeboy. These Elite controllers and these what's called Astro controllers, you can program macros into those things too, homeboy. So being on console does not prevent you from using macros.
So then everybody that kills me in PvP that is super good is cheating.
Macro. You have to choose to use a macro anyway. I don't have any macros. I mean, just play the
game. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he says, oh, come play on a console where there's no macros. There's absolutely macros on the console, homeboy.
Yeah, I promise you that. Well, right, but I mean, I'm gonna guess the things you can do in the context of it's in the controller you're using. In that case, is far more limited to what you can do. Like, I'm going to assume that none of those can take my SCUF controller and remove recoil. Maybe there is. I don't know. I have never.
I would say I have no idea.
Don't look at. Yeah,
but I was more concerned.
It's like don't look into these things.
Well skating.
Why?
You can set up a macro for well skating on a controller just like you can.
Yeah, great.
PC
fine.
or whatever.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, it's just like the security with all the other cheating stuff. They're not gonna say here's the fine line of what you can and can't do, because then everyone's gonna go, but I did that thing you said it was okay. It's gonna be.
I mean, that's what they should though. We should need to know what's gonna get us in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how far down do you go into that? I mean, if they say if you're using any
response,
fair. yeah. I mean, if they say using any macro will get you banned. And people go, well, what about the Ingram picking up macro? Is that also on the list? I mean, it's just like everything else. It's use your best judgment. And if you're worried about it, then, if you're that worried, don't do it. Yeah. Play the game as God intended and the game designers intended and roll with that, and you won't get yourself banned. Or you will, because you let someone recover your account and go flawless on trials and they cheated the whole time.
Ooh, that would suck. Well, I mean, don't pay to go flawless on trials. Go to Grenadier Jake's channel and get carrots and get a run. I mean, there are ways around it. I mean, a lot of people want to go to Mars or whatever. I've still never been. And it's not that big a deal for me.
Go find the smaller streamers, subscribe to their channel when they've got 100 people in there, and then you too can possibly get your chance at it, or just go. I'm not meant to go to the lighthouse. It's not in the cards for me, and so I'm gonna go and get my non-adept weapons and go. Look, I have these, and I'll play with them.
Well, no, non-adept. You can get adept. I've never been to Mars, but you know what? I've got 4 adept weapons on me right now.
Adept trials weapons.
Yeah,
is what I meant.
Trials.
Yes, I understand you can get adept weapons from other sources. I mean the adept trials weapons.
Sure. Some people just aren't meant to do different things. That's why Bungie gives you different ways to get different things, man. You're not good at PvP. You don't belong at the lighthouse. Cool. Go do a dungeon. Get an adept weapon there. Go do a raid. Get an adept weapon there, bro. Just do what you're good at and be happy with it. If you're not good at PvP, sorry about your bad luck.
That's
play
why,
something else.
That's why I need the AARP PvP range. I mean, that's
AARP PvP.
That's what I need. Let me give you the AARP card. Let me play against the people, with non-modded controllers and are also have the slower reaction times, and we'll be good.
There you go.
I'll still die to them. It's fine.
I love that idea. Check the box. Are you over the age of 50? Yes. Cool. We'll put you in this lobby.
It's like the opposite of the training lobby. It's like, listen, you don't have the reaction speed of the young kids. Just accept this and move on with your life. Go here, hang out, have a good time. Flawless pool, challenger pool, AARP pool. See, Bungie just had one more pool. We're good. We got this.
That's right.
No, I know Respawn's excited about walking fashion, baby.
Oh yeah,
because you're all about the drip. All about the drip.
It's not just me. Every hunter's all about that drip.
Respawn just wears all white or all black all the time.
That is not true. I am currently wearing a mixture of gray and baby blue, sir.
No, I think Mike is 100% correct. It's either all white or all black. That's basically what the hunters can do. Sometimes a hunter can wear the red, the red face mask, or every now and again something else. There might be a highlight of color, but don't worry, because soon you can see your favorite hunter. You're going to have to figure out which of the 5 or 6 hunters on your team are wearing the all black to give the commendation to. But we're going to get that lovely best dressed commendation where they were going to push it out in season 21, but we're getting it in the quote mid-season patch, which I'm guessing is the one that's coming up this week. Even though they don't say anything about it, they're like, "Hey, the patch is coming."
Game over, yeah.
You know what I just thought about? What your actual style of fashion, honestly, can be summed up in one word. Respawn, Apple. Literally, you have the fashion of an iPhone.
You're just being mean and saying mean things. Like right now, look at my drip right now. I'm wearing lots of red. I have a lot of red on right now. Right? I am redded out because I'm rocking solar. A minute ago, I was rocking arc, so I was baby blue. Rocking some baby blue kicks, bro, and Pumas. Telling you.
Squirrel.
So you're just the iPhone Code Red or Project Red.
I don't have iPhones. I don't know what y'all are saying. All I'm saying is that my drip is not always all black.
I'm just saying. Well, iPhones are always either black or white. They tried to do a color phase for maybe like a year, but then they dropped it, and now they're back to all black, all white. Like there really aren't any other color phones.
And let's be honest,
they believe in segregation. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you're putting that glass phone into a case because you're gonna drop it anyway. People who walk around the real world.
At the end of the day, I'm not buying the glass phone because I don't buy Apple.
With the glass phone, just out there living their lives. I'm like, you clearly are living on a higher threat level than I am. I mean, good on you, I guess.
Bro, no, my AT&T tech I'm working with this week has exactly his iPhone not in the case, and I'm just like, you brave man. He goes, this is a company phone. I'm like, oh, that's why.
Oh yeah, company phone. That's on them. Be like, listen. You gave me the thing. That's on you.
Case.
Right.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. It's the only reason why I have Apple products, period, because of companies.
I hate the fact that you said that because that is an insult I don't know how to react to.
That's
like,
that
what
was
do you say to that, dude?
That's the quietest
you have
I've
the
heard
fashion
Respawn
sense
in
of an iPhone.
years. Nitedemon, please title
and I'm not
title
saying
of the
he's
episode.
Right about my fashion sense, right? He's absolutely not right about my fashion sense.
Oh no,
but
he's 1,000%
the insult
correct.
is so good. Like, how do you recover from that, man? It's a blatant lie, but it came out so fluidly.
I'm not so sure. I'm pretty sure
it's a blatant lie.
I'm pretty sure he's entirely correct.
He's not correct.
I mean, every time I see your character, I'm just gonna say which iPhone is that now?
Look, man, just because I don't open up a box of Crayola and spill it on my Titan and hope it comes out well does not mean I don't have fashion sense.
I mean,
you could open up a box of
because
Crayola and
you
spill it
love
on your
listening
hunter.
to My Chemical Romance while you're playing your hunter.
I've never listened to anything. If anything, you might get me for Hollywood Undead. You might get me for an accidental Backstreet Boys. All right. But,
okay.
Backstreet's back. It's all right.
Yeah, that's what they say anyway.
Yeah. So we are getting our best dress combination.
Fight or flight response
in this mid-season. It's not going to have a large score, but it'll be there. and apparently they're also going to restrict it to what they call low trust activities. I mean, why I can't give best dress in a raid, dungeon, and trials? It seems a little terrible to me, Bungie. I mean, listen, if I'm going to do an activity with multiple people, I want to have enough commendations to hand out to them.
Well, we have enough accommodations
in the 10 seconds that you have to hand them out.
Exactly.
Yep. You got to figure out who did what,
go quick and do
what
it.
They look like.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I guess that's fair. Again, I mean, I guess they are saying, for 3 people activities, you've got 2 to hand out already. So 1 goes to one person and 1 goes to the other one, unless they leave too soon or the game breaks on you. Get what you get.
Why is it that you can only use 1 at a time, right? Like if I had 2 knowledgeable people on my team, why do I have to give one guy knowledgeable and the other guy's like, oh, you've been a joy? But he wasn't a joy. He was knowledgeable, but he was
Yeah.
Or how about instead of accommodations, why don't they just say what each person did? This person had the highest damage. This person had the most numbers killed and stuff like that. And just say that, because I don't want to tell them what they did. What is this, like a pat on the butt show? Like, hey, good job, and you were there. Like, no one cares.
Like Monster Hunter World, at the end of a match, it would say, hey, this person did the most damage. This person had the most slingers. This person ran the monster to the wall so many times. You know what I mean?
Everybody's going to be looking at the one person that had the most slinger use and be like, what did you actually
do? Well, obviously, he was the one stunning the monster and putting it into the wall.
No, right? Sometimes you just run around the map, just shooting the rock at him.
Yeah, man, I dropped the drops on him. What do you want from me, man?
And Bungie could do this. Like
the Red Pit King.
Like if you go and look at the post game carnage reports, like it has these numbers. It'll tell you most grenade kills, most damage. Like they keep track of this stuff. Just give me combinations based on what I actually did. Like it wouldn't.
The most melee kills, most grenade kills, overall damage, overall boss damage,
most orbs generated.
Yeah,
most orbs generated. You got lots of categories you could just give to people.
Just give me a WTF category where it's just like you were there and you certainly did something, but we're not entirely sure what it is. What did you contribute to this? We're not sure. We're pretty sure it's something. Give me one that just says participation trophy.
I would give
that's all I want.
Do that. Don't do that. I would give that to everybody just because I think it's funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, give me a participation trophy. Have it be like the cheapest little trophy from the trophy store for not a bowling league, like not even the thing you're doing, just a random trophy and be like, here you go.
No, not a participation trophy. Just have the thing, just accommodation that says you were there.
You did it. 2023.
Jeez,
you were there.
You showed.
Thanks for being there.
Honestly speaking, okay, so this came up last night. We were having this conversation about ad clear, right? Ad clear, people are like, oh, I'll put you on ad clear, like it's no big deal, right? But ad clear is actually incredibly important, right? Because if there's ads everywhere, you can't do your mechanics. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine trying to move planets from one side to the other when you're constantly getting shot by everybody in the middle. You know what I mean? It's not going to work out for you, bro. And if you didn't have
that, you need is a adept hung jury with kinetic tremors.
Shut up, Micah. The point is like, I mean, people downplay ad clear just because you didn't do a mechanic or whatever, right? Or some people will even be like, oh, you want to do a mechanic because ad clear's too hard, whatever. Everybody's got a complaint, right? But we had a guy last night that didn't know how to do anything, and they're all like, oh, we'll just put you on ad clear, right? And on ad clear, he was killing 300 enemies, right? Like he was doing work.
Yeah, he's like,
and I'm just like, wow, dude, wow. So I appreciate the fact that he was not only on ad clear, but he was doing a really good job at it. You know what I mean? And there's no accommodation for that for ad clear.
Just sitting there watching this guy go, forgot that he was supposed to be moving planets, and he was just sitting in awe. Like,
no, I'm talking about at the end when you can see what he killed. It was impressive, right? But still, I mean, people underplay a lot of things that are in this game. Every part of this game is important, right? So having accommodations for even something as simple as an ad clear, it's a pretty big deal, I think.
Yeah, and Bungie, also, while we're on the topic, can I get some numbers for when we successfully do something? For when when we beat the boss, who did what when? Like you'll show me my damage numbers when we screw it up and fail. But give me a little.
They said they were going to do that.
Give me a little screen at some point to say, "Hey, you beat the boss, and here's the damage you dealt, and here's what you did." when
They said they
when
were
that
gonna
loot
do
chest
that.
spawns, give me a little here's a little thing I can go read. Give me my little recap, my little coaching report.
My coaching report. I like that.
Yeah, they need to do it. We don't have any radios in this game, so I'll clearly have to go to a terminal to see the report. But at least make it available to me. Trials. Trials.
Both of y'all just like.
It's weird because I was like, I've already talked to this man this week, so this feels like a weird sense of deja vu. And Nitedemon wasn't there either, right? So I'm like, I've talked to him already about Destiny and Destiny related things. So I'm like, we've had this conversation already. Oh wait,
we had this conversation Thursday night. Yeah,
yeah. But this is a different audience, presumably, that'll be listening to it now.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you got T-Rex King here.
And T-Rex King is always there. Like you turn around, that dude's just like standing behind you, like a little bit menacingly.
Always in the lobby. And I think Dimwee's actually in here a lot too, man. Dimwee's been here the last few times.
He's just sitting there hanging out, watching, waiting, waiting for his moment to thrive.
Well, he works on Saturdays, so we are his Saturday entertainment. That's why he gets upset when I don't stream on Saturdays. Yeah.
I mean, someone's got to be. If not us,
tell him to start donating.
Yes, he's a Patreon. He donates.
Oh, good job.
We're
proud of you.
He's part of the Otter Dance.
We want to send a special thanks to you. I don't get anything, but we want to send special thanks to you anyway.
No, we give credit for the right words to, bro. And never mind. I'm not gonna bring it up again.
All right, trials.
So we can
trials is gonna get easier. Congratulations. That's the end of 12.
But when exactly? Because we've got trials. We've got trial lab weeks 8 and 11 of the season where they're saying they're testing the new matchmaking stuff. I thought they were just gonna drop it on us. Like that was sort of our confusion last night too. Like, didn't they say like, hey, season 21, we're gonna drop the new trial stuff on you? Here's the practice pool, the flawless pool, and here's what that's gonna be, or the challenger pool they're calling it. So we're getting it in 2 weeks this season, and then next season.
Oh, come on!
It's gonna be next season.
Yeah,
it'd be a lot better for those who like to farm trials, not play trials, just farm it.
Well, you can't even farm it because once you get that card,
you can farm it.
Oh, you can farm. You just can't farm for those gold tier turnips. You can farm for turnips all you want all day long.
Oh, I thought once you win flawless, they put you in the other pool.
Sir, no one here is going flawless. You mistake us for people who are going to be in that other pool
with your peers. Yeah,
I've gone flawless. Yeah.
Okay, well.
I don't do it often. I'm not a flawless champion.
Besides that tryhard over there, the rest of us will not be going flawless. So we don't really care what that pool's all about. That's not for us. We're again AARP PvP. That's not for us. We're over here in the practice pool, getting our pile of immortals from Saint 14. And going, one of these will probably be decent.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Because, Az was an ass, and he didn't, help me out trying to go flawless multiple times like he did.
Az is in the chat right now, right?
I know he is. That's why I'm calling him out.
Yeah, no, that's exactly why. Yeah, so I mean, we talked about it. The challenger pool is your flawless-ish pool, and then your practice pool is going to have your stomp protection and your farming protection. So theoretically, it'll be better for everyone.
And 2 losses on mercy card.
PvE ass things. Yes, no more stomp mechanics. Wait, wrong stomp.
Different stomp mechanic entirely.
Yeah.
2 losses on a mercy card. That's pretty baller.
That's something.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. That's pretty baller. Like that's 1 extra loss you get. Like that's major.
Nice.
Yeah, that should at least get raise your chances if you are trying to go flawless. At least gives you better chances to do it.
It's a 50% extra chance. That's nutters. That's nice.
Yeah,
from 2 deaths to 2 losses to 1. I mean to 3. That's nice.
I just see it as another impediment for me getting into that. I've
known Michael for so long. Times like this. Like I hear cynicism, even if he's being legitimate right now. I hear cynicism in his voice. It's like, oh, that's nice. Oh yeah,
because I'm very good at masking it, even if it's legitimate. That's how you be very cynical or very sarcastic. You just know how to mask it so that way it always sounds like you're honest. My wife hates me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but not for that.
Oh no, mainly for that. She's like, I hear you, but I can't tell if you're joking or not.
Right.
I'm like,
I hear you, but I'm not sure what to do with this information.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, don't worry, Respawn. We've got kilts.
I saw that.
Would you look at kilts? They've got kilts. We have many kilts. It's kilt time again for the Seattle Ronald McDonald House. If you would like a kilt, you could give Bungie $77,777, and then you will get one kilt out of it, and that's how that works. So it's fine.
I'm not a fan of that at all.
And it's great because I know neither of them have ever read it. Well, Micah might have read a 12. I know Respawn has never read a 12, so I could just leave it at that and move on. And he'd be like, absolutely.
Sure. No, and why are they doing this? You didn't even tell them why they're doing this. They're doing this to raise money so that families can, so that 26,000, not families, people can stay at the Ronald McDonald House for 26,000 nights, basically. Meh. Stupid face.
How many years?
I've actually gone and seen families in those houses and worked with them before.
That's a lot of nights.
It's a lot. It's a lot. People. Sometimes the kids need it. You wouldn't believe. I work in healthcare, and working with kids in healthcare was one of the primary things that I did. They need it. Honestly, it's a good cause, because when that stuff happens to a child, it upends your entire life. So they need it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, realistically, Bungie, now let's see. So Bungie's trying to raise Bungie numbers, $77,777 for the charity, and they are saying you can cast your vote for Team Bungie. Each vote's worth $10. Every donation of $30 will pay for a family to stay at the night for one night. So basically, $30 pays for a family to stay a night at the Ronald McDonald House. If you're looking to give more, or want to feel good and get something out of it, a $50 donation gets the receive the knees out emblem, which is a lovely tartan design with some green flowers on it. One emblem code will be sent to each donation of $50 or more. You'll get it by the end of April. If you want to do $100 donation, you'll get the emblem above that's here linked in the TWAB. Plus, you'll receive a postcard digitally signed by our Kilts for Kids team mailed to you. A $250 donation gets you a digital copy of a new and unique piece of artwork made by Mark Fleeg himself. Now, I don't know if it's of the Knees Out emblem or a different piece of artwork, because they don't tell him. $500, you'll get all those things and a physical piece of the exclusive Mark artwork shipped to your house, for you to put proudly on your wall. And so Bungie Foundation, it's always good stuff that they're up to. I was going to the page to see where they're sitting, because usually by the time we see this in the 12, they're like, we're at $4.2 trillion because you all are incredible. So they don't say where they are right now. They just you can go and give money to the Kilts for Kids, and it's always worth it. And like Micah said, he's been involved in healthcare for kids. I worked for the National Health Institutes of Health in Maryland for a there, and they have I have kids, and they've got like the children's in there, which again is they fly people in, because if you're at the NIH, you're there because something has gone wrong. Like you've got something there going, what are we trying to we're trying to figure out what this is and why, and they're always flying people into the children's in here to take care of them, put them up, and get them the access and the healthcare they need. Right. So Bungie does a lot of charity work, and it's all good stuff. But the stuff for kids, Respawn has some. He can attest to it. Kids are cool. We should help them, and families who need help, we should do that.
It's like, if you have a kid and that kid is sick, as a parent, like, it is one of the worst feelings, because you're helpless. That feeling of helplessness while your child suffers is one of the worst feelings you can have, probably by far. Nothing else comes close. And if your kid can at least find some happiness, like Ronald McDonald House or whatever, or like that tablet thing. Remember how we were talking about the tablets for kids? Just anything to take their mind off the pain. Is just so incredibly grateful as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just hate seeing your kids suffer. It's, I'm repeating myself. Sorry.
Kids suffering bad. Donation to Bungie charity is good. And if you want to get things out of it for yourself, go for it. Get yourself some lovely artwork, or just the feeling of a job well done.
Yeah.
It's that time again for our player support report. The report is there's an update coming. Is it the mid-season patch? Is it the update we've been talking about for 3 weeks? Who knows? But we're getting update 7.0.5 on Tuesday, April 18th. So it's going to contain something. It's going to start at 8 a.m. Pacific time. 8:45, game gets kicked offline. 10 a.m. Pacific, the game will be back online. The update will be rolling out to all the platforms and all the regions. And an hour after that, if all goes well, maintenance will be complete and you'll be back in the game playing it. So hopefully that's going to happen. So on Tuesday, stay tuned to Bungie Help on Twitter or the Bungie team accounts if you can't get into the game. Something probably broke it, like their prep work for this update earlier this week.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like the prep work for the upcoming change is what's actually breaking the game currently.
Yeah, so like we're all just sort of assuming this is going to be the mid-season patch they've been talking about, but it'd be nice if Bungie said, "Hey, this is going to contain the mid-season patch we've been talking about." But yeah, it's a surprise. They're also making a scoring update to the Guardian rank objectives. Apparently, so for Legend score. Wait, is this Guardian rank objective dates? We've made scoring updates to the following Guardian rank objectives. Legend score, Legend score is 115,000, was 130. The Nightfall scoring was 200,000, now it's 180,000. And your Grandmaster was 230,000, and now it should be 210,000. So they say Guardian rank objectives, but I mean, aren't these the Nightfall objectives? Maybe they're one and the same.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, because when we were doing the Grandmaster, whenever Micah and I did it this past week, the score was 210,000, and that had already been brought down from 230,000.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me it's 180,000?
No. Nightfall is where it's going to say. Nightfall is 210. They brought it down from 230 to 210.
Oh, okay.
I wish they would, explain this better. Yeah. So scoring Grandmaster 210,000 down from 230. Legend score 115,000 down from 130. And then they just say Nightfall score 180,000 down from 200. So I think that's the weekly, like, you run 3 Nightfalls at whatever level and it'll give you the pinnacle for the 200,000. I think that's what they've changed now to 180. Again, Bungie it'd be nice to put this in a different order, but So they decrease those. And apparently they've also increased the Lake of Shadows score multiplier to 1.0. So apparently Lake of Shadows needed some scoring help.
Yeah, and as hard as this Grandmaster is, and I think it is actually hard, right? I think it is. I've talked to people that have already had multiple clears, and I hate them. But, like, we looked ahead at the schedule for Grandmasters.
Well, that's how you really feel.
This is going to be one of the easiest ones, and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me.
So the Proving Grounds. The Proving Grounds being your easiest, that'll be interesting. So I guess, and then, again, Nitedemon has dropped the what's coming up next week in Destiny, but I think it's the Glassway is our next up on the rotation, and we're gonna have looks like the same surges and the same bonus stuff, but grenade launchers will be your bonus weapon instead of sniper rifles. So that might help some people out. Could be exciting.
Oh yes, please. Now, does it say grenade launchers in general, like breech loaded and heavy?
That's what I'm guessing. I mean, because this one was just sniper rifles, for this week. So I'm guessing it's just grenade launcher. That'll be our surging weapon, or our overcharge weapon. So just any of them you use will give you some extra damage. So in the Glassway, that'll be much appreciated.
Some extra damage, it's 25% extra damage. Don't just glance over that, my dude. It's 25% extra damage. It's quite a bit.
That's some, like I said. But we're not going to have, though. We do have some known issues where your weekly red border weapon focusing may not count towards your Defiant focusing triumph. It may, but it may not. If players wipe the boss encounter of the Lake of Shadows Nightfall, already defeated champions may respawn in previous zones, resulting in inaccurate scores and completion rewards. So remember that platinum you did have? Yeah, you may not have it anymore if you wipe, because they may respawn and you can't go back and get them. And I think, as I noticed this morning, Shariah Hawthorne may continue to reference visiting Amanda in her voice lines. Because, no, she isn't. And now,
spoilers!
Now Nitedemon has had this for the 3rd time spoiled if he hasn't gotten there yet. Listen, at this point, Hawthorne's only job is to feed the bird. That's it. That's all. Yeah, but
I think it's funny that 3 weeks in a row they've spoiled it, even just accidentally like this, right? Well, why wouldn't they have Amanda? Why are they talking about Amanda anymore? What did something happen to Amanda? Why aren't they talking about Amanda anymore? Why do they have to remove Amanda voice lines? What's going on?
Yeah, it was. It's also interesting because I went and visited Respawn's favorite character's Cade statue today, and it was a loving in memoriam from Amanda Holiday, and I'm going, that's interesting.
The irony.
Dead knows dead.
Oh, come on, Peroty.
Amanda died.
What? Amanda died. What?
Amanda may no longer be in the game. There's a chance.
No.
Saying there's a chance.
So are you telling me why this is why Bungie kept telling people to get stuff off of her if you haven't gotten it off of her yet? Is this why Bungie kept encouraging people, if you've got something at Amanda Holiday, to get it from Amanda Holiday before it's no longer there? Could this have something to do with that?
They actually took her out of the hangar for the first time in 4 years and then murdered her nearly immediately. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They're like, listen, you've been here. We have enough characters to stand around and do functionally nothing. Your time is over.
But I wonder the actual reason, right? Because I mean, we know why Cade had to go. His voice actor had to go, right? And but why Amanda? Like what's the reasoning behind that? Anybody know? Anybody ever look into it?
I mean, I'm sure somebody has, but the people on this particular Discord meeting have not looked into it. No.
Chat, anybody know why Amanda is no longer with us?
I mean, because
Starfire Annihilation. Okay, that's an answer. Yeah,
because things went badly, and then we have movie of the week and art of the week, and those are all things. And yeah, we made it to the end of our mess, not mess, gloriously, completely on the rails podcast that my team will be absolutely delighted to get into edit and go. What did you people do? What did you miss? All right, so Respawn.
It's his fault for not being here. If he has any problem with anything that he has to edit out, just remember it was his fault because he wasn't here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's not feeling well. He somebody has to go defend the Empire, and today he was defending the Empire and not feeling well in the process. So sometimes you have to go defend the city walls. That's what you get. Although I mean I think we've done the thing. We introduced ourselves. We didn't tell people where they were, but it really, I mean, again, as we said on our third or fourth call back to Potato Thumbs, you find our show first. So I mean, your entryway into the Destiny 2 podcasting world is through this show. That's the rule. That's just the rule. I didn't make it up. That's just how it is.
It is how it is. Yep. And by the way, for all those that are complaining, we do have a Discord. It's called 2 Titans and 100 Discord. So there you go. And if you have any questions about where to find anything about us, I am told by Peroty himself and Nitedemon, if you look at any of our show notes and anything, like you can go to the podcast, you can go to the YouTube, you can go anywhere, and you will find links to our Discord, our email, our Twitter, videos that we mentioned, personal bios, all that stuff is in there. So if you have an interest in any of that stuff that we don't explicitly mention in the show, Nitedemon goes out of his way to post it all on every one of our channels that we post anything at. So there you go.
Yeah. You can go to our lovely show notes, and after the what in the world do these three mutter about this week, and some timestamps for when did they mutter about it. Yeah, the YouTube channel, the Twitch, the Discord, the Patreon, the Coffee, the 1-100-IO group that we're part of with the Owl Sector Alliance, the email, the Twitter, the Facebook, artwork, the fact that the lovely Nitedemon has done our artwork, and our Xbox Live names to track us down. And then just again, more things and then all the links we've talked about. Every single video we talked about this week, all the general links for, the big Vidocs or the big Lightfall pages, various other podcasts in the Owl Sector Alliance you can get to from our show. Because again, we are the way through. All your Lightfall guides, your Duality Dungeon guides, even the Throne World guides are still there if you're trying to catch up on things. We have all the links and all the guides and all the show notes. They are very long and very, very, very complete. We'll call it complete. We have all the things. And we also have a couple of videos this week. There is no Respawn report roundup because Twitter is a tire fire, and they killed all the ways that you could interact with Twitter other than going to Twitter. So that's stupid. So until they figure it out, things happen. People are on social media. They probably said some things. We've probably said those same things. So see, we're done. We got this. It's great.
Indeed.
Seriously,
Also,
I got an email this week about some Twitter app that I set up to do like tweet archiving like a million years ago. It's like, oh hey, by the way, we kicked you off because you're not paying us money a month. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not. Absolutely not.
You paid for that, Peroty?
No. The API used to be free, and now they're making you pay like $100 a month just for like the most basic of API access. And I'm like, no.
Oh,
In no
Twitter's
way.
making the API. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Like that. Like that's why a ton of stuff I use this week is like, yeah, and that's just for like the like bare bones. Like I can't remember what the limits are, but like businesses, it's like thousands of dollars a month they want people to pay for their API. So a lot of stuff this week I've been getting emails and notifications going, yeah, so we're stripping Twitter support out because we don't make enough money in a month to pay for their new rates for their API, which is insane on a whole different level, but that's a whole different podcast that rants about technology, which is not this one.
Not yet.
God bless whatever his name is.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what we're not losing at is I have watched some YouTube this week, and I don't know if you guys have watched YouTube, but I will give you this time to find the YouTube videos if you have watched it.
I have watched a bunch, but they've just all been builds and whatnot. So
yeah. Well, there we go. So we have TDT, the Dream Team, grappling things you didn't think were possible. So they went and they tried to grapple a bunch of things you may or may not have thought were possible. And it's surprising some of the things you can grapple, like smoke bombs, and some of the things you can't. Or at least, they weren't able to. A couple times.
Or like Lumina rounds.
They're like, listen, they're like, people have showed us that. And a couple times it was like, here's a clip of somebody else doing it. We couldn't do it, but it is technically possible to do. If you've been on that sweet grind, like Respawn, trying to get that max Guardian rank, being the Paragon, I have a video from Misleading. It is not misleading, but his name is Misleading. About what you get. And this is a Deacon approved 50-second video. What you get for getting Guardian rank 11 in Paragon. A pat on the shoulder and a job well done. That's it. So if you think there's like loot or rewards from it, no. We
never thought there was gonna be loot behind it.
Just the 11 and that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah. Although your number does get a fancy freaking reef around it, fancy gold reef. Yeah. Yeah. Aesthetics, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, and then with the changes, you'll have that 11 next season too, because you got to it at some point, but you'll have to get back to 11 if you want to keep it. So risk and reward.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, devil's advocate here for real though. Like, I mean, if you've done the chase, if you've done the grind, you know what it takes to get to that level, right? It's all about perception, right? So, like, once I hit level 10, people know that I've had to do a solo master level freaking lost sector without dying. People know that I've had to do that, So it's about perception. Well,
no, I didn't realize that at all. I didn't care. It didn't matter to me when I was fighting you in PvP that you had level 7 or 10.
You stay in your corner and punch things.
That's because all it's about is, hey, look, I played the game. Congratulations. Who cares? I played the game.
But not everybody plays, the harder things to do in the game.
Not everybody or anybody cares.
You played the game.
I care.
You played the game and did the things Bungie wanted you to do. So here's your pat on the back and your lovely wreath and your 11.
So I said not everybody or anybody cares, and you said I care. So in fact, nobody cares.
Now, if you also would like to care and said, even though as Respawn may have told you, you may have just missed your chance at the easiest Grandmaster this season. Our buddy over at Astacross Land has your best Grandmaster Nightfall loadouts. Exotic weapons, armors, builds, just a whole bunch of stuff. Here's a bunch of exotics you could take in and build builds around. Or go, hey, here's the exotic I want to build around. Let me go back to YouTube and find a good build for that. Just a number of ways to go in and, here's what you should bring in. Here's how you should run them. If you're going, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. There's your starting point. Now, I didn't realize that we were going to have this whole conversation when I watched these and put these in this week. But our buddy over at the Blueberry Lounge Native Raider has a PvP Titan build called the Archangel for competitive and Trials of Osiris.
Because Arc is not very good.
Because Arc is terrible. So, I mean, if you too want to be a terrible Arc Titan, you too should definitely not go watch this video, and then definitely don't bring it in to PvP, and definitely don't do what he says. Now, I wouldn't recommend any of those things. It's terrible.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, no, it doesn't deserve an nerf at all. It's perfectly balanced. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like you definitely shouldn't understand what the PvP meta is of Season 20, so you shouldn't go watch Kami Cakes' video about what the PvP meta is of Season 20. Which, I mean, Immortal SMG really is the meta. But he goes into, more, it's not just that. He goes into, what it is more of that. So when people say, we talk on this show all the time, the meta, what does that mean and what is it currently? He sort of breaks it down, what it is currently. And after he did that, he also has a bunch of PvP loadouts. So again, if you're going, I'd like to try some PvP, I want to go in. My friend Micah grabs me and drags me through Iron Banner kicking and screaming like Respawn's case. Kimmy Cakes has 3 separate videos, all of which are sitting about the 20-minute range, so not quite Deacon improved, but 20-24 minutes of a Titan PvP loadout, a Warlock PvP loadout, and a Hunter PvP loadout, where he basically goes over, here's a bunch of different loadouts you can take and a bunch of ways you can play, because his, Kimmy Cakes, if you're not familiar, his whole thing is about, theory crafting, game crafting, looking at, what you could and should be doing, not just saying, I'm going to use this build and use this forever, but actually like, here's the things I'm playing against, here's how I counter that. Here's the build I'm using, here's what it counters. It's not just like one and done, here's what you should put on and roll with it. We gave you some of those last week. This is really like, if you want to get into the theory of it or going, hey, I'm seeing a whole bunch of this, how can I counter that?
The Archangel, right, guys?
Who?
Cami Cakes is the Titan Archangel?
No, that was Native Raider.
Native Raider.
Yes, T-Rex. Which there's a link in the show notes. There's lots of 8s in his name. It's N8IV space R8R.
Oh.
So Native Raider, but not spelled how it sounds.
Like the number 8. Okay, gotcha.
Number 8 twice. And then also, again, Castle content. The number 1 arc build got even better, which to be fair is not PvP. It is PvE related. So, talking about basically Heart of Inmost Light, which really is, here's a Heart of Inmost Light and here's other ways you can work around that. So again, wasn't intending on giving you a bunch of arc builds this week with stuff, but here we are. And then one video that I got partially excited about and knew it had to be a troll is asked across with, it only took me 5 years to unlock, I'm now a Gambit main.
Oh.
So that is your one Gambit video for the season that anybody will make, other than go farm it for this particular weapon. Basically, he I guess, at one of the levels of Guardian Rings, you need to have a certain number of titles. He went and got his Dredgen title because he needed it for that. So, so some of you are late to the party and not getting your easy titles done. So that's on him.
Speaking of that, where the hell is Fallout? I just realized I haven't heard anything from Fallout in a minute. Did his last 50 games of Gambit just finally end his career?
Well, Fallout's been doing stuff. He's done a bunch of stuff this week.
Oh, wow.
He just, I
haven't seen anything on my feed for him. That's weird.
Oh, well, you clearly aren't following very well. I mean, he told us the cheaters were officially big mad. This Hunter build is insane and getting buffed. If you lose, you've got to delete a god roll. I mean, if I die to Immortal, the video ends. He's done a couple of things this week. I mean, he's telling you how good a Hunter build is.
How long is that last
how it's
video?
going to be even improved.
Immortal, the video ends. Is that like a 30-second video?
No, it's longer than you'd think. But yeah, no, Fallout's out there doing things. I mean, just like Plunder the Booty's out there doing things, and she's forever. They're out there doing things, but like we talk about them so much, I was like, let's see if we can find other people to talk about. Other people do things too. I mean, Astrocross is up there too, making lots of things. So,
but to be fair, the video is really kind of it's easy to predict because then there's a time which the video ends. So you're just like, okay, well, no, it didn't end there. Obviously, it doesn't end here. Okay, all right, well, we're coming to the end.
It's just like when you're trying to put the hidden tracks on the CD instead of the cassette tape. You're gonna know they're there. There's no excitement. There's no, let's see how long this takes. No, it's going to be 2.5 minutes, or it's going to be, whatever it is. The excitement is gone. The mystery is gone. And unless you guys have anything else, I think it's about time for us to be gone.
I'm already gone. I'm playing PvP.
Oh, Micah's already gone, or Micah hasn't gone. But I can tell you the T-Rex King definitely has gone. I can tell you Dimwee's definitely, absolutely hanging out there. Golden God, that dude hanging out there. Patreon.com/TTAH. Because, I mean, they're out over there with Zep Orbit being threatened with a good time. T-Rex King over there dancing the greatest dance you've ever seen in your life. Saturday morning, he gets up, he stretches, puts his kilt on, says, it's time to dance. The T-Rex King, dedicated Wham 64, the Scarlet Cam, and the Star Vortige, they are the most incredible otter dance troupe in their kilts. You have seen nothing until you've seen that. You do have to be careful though, because Carver 2782, We Noble, Golden God 1562, basically Salt, and Zombie Pops are going to throw grenades at you. So maybe that's why they're dancing. It's hard to say. We're still trying to get to the bottom of this. And then finally, Deacon does give her approval, very rarely and very, very skeptically, of PP Pipe, Lord Master Chaos, Dimwee, The Drifters Driftwood, Hate Quest, and really this entire show and this entire thing we're doing. So we have the approval, but it's a very tenuous approval. So, you know, we try to stay in that approval range. And then finally, thank you for joining us. Your Titans this week are Peroty and the Patchy Helicopter Kitten himself, Micah. Nitedemon sadly does not have a voice this week, so while he will be editing and you will hear his silky smooth vocals, it will not be live. It will be pre-recorded for your entertainment and enjoyment. Your hunter this week, as always, is No One Responds in Real Life. Live from the house, not the car, not the airplane, not the interstate, from his house.
A hotel, believe it or not. This internet connection is from a hotel. It's weird.
Oh, well, then I lied, from the hotel. So see, he fooled us all. Probably in a hotel, or maybe at his house is not ours. I assume he's in one of those two places, somewhere in between. If you'd like to email the show, absolutely. If you want to email the show and tell us, good things, bad things, all the things, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. As discussed in the show notes, our links to our YouTube, our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook, it's Two Titans and a Hunter. Just again, type Two Titans and a Hunter into any search box. You'll find us. We've made the deals. We've signed the contracts. That's just, that's just what happens. You can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow us on YouTube every week for the new episodes, your weekly update videos, and live streams. When things go live, they get archived there because, we love you. I want you to be happy. If you'd like to join the Otter Dance Group, threaten us with a good time and throw more grenades, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTAH. If you want to just throw some money our way and, not have a long-term relationship, coffee.com, ko-fi.com/twotitansandahunter. And if you want the thrill of, this show live every Saturday morning, give or take, you can head over to twitch.tv/no-one-responds in real life, who also streams raids and DVD. Yes, DVDs. That's what you stream. D&D. And really, whatever he feels like.
These are the paid content, so be careful.
That's the only fans, absolutely. And you go to twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter, and you can see the lovely British man stream when he's able to. No streams this week because all the children are home. So, when the children go back to school, the streams begin again. So really just head over to twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter or No One Responds in Real Life and smack those buttons to say, hey, they're alive. Go give them some love. We love you. You love us. We appreciate Micah standing here, being Micah, having the most appropriate conversations with Respawn. Peacefully, quietly, telling him that he's wrong. Respawn telling Micah that he's wrong, and us both agreeing everybody's wrong. No one knows what's going on. So thank you, Micah. Thank you, Respawn. Give the people your closing whatevers, and then we'll hand this into the hands of our editor and see what comes out the other end.
Fair enough.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
There's a channel inside of the Two Titans and a Hunter Discord that says build requests, right? I put that in there last week. If there was any builds that y'all wanted me to discuss up front, like maybe you're a hunter that likes solar, or maybe you're a hunter that likes void, or maybe you're a Titan that likes arc, I can definitely find you a build, So if you have any build requests that you want me to demonstrate for you on how to both build and how to use, there's a folder that says specifically
actually you do have one request, definitely, and I've been encouraging people to send in more requests for this type of video for you to make for the next one. So just start working on this for this week, specifically. And I've gotten all the request notes here. Everyone's requesting for you, and please send in more requests for Respawn to make a kinetic tremors build.
Oh my god, you suck! I knew you were going somewhere with that. I just didn't know how you were going to get there. Oh, hold on, food's here. Bye, guys.